it's working. Hopefully, second time round we are live. This is Sabine Matharu and this is episode 2 of the Reach for Greatness Live TV. I am so excited. We've got an amazing lineup this afternoon. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we won't have any technical issues. And if you're coming on, please say hello so I know who you are, and also let me know where you're from. Okay, so this is an interactive session. Hi Saraj, nice to see you. It is all about asking questions. Okay, this is why we're doing this live, and I'm so super excited. So hopefully the technology is not going to let us down too much this afternoon. All right, so let me just go and share this, because you know this is all about helping women being more visible in business, and this is where I would encourage all of you. And hi Ian, lovely to see you as well. All of you, just to share the live stream, that would be amazing. So I'm just gonna go and make sure we are all set on my business page, and I'm just gonna share this very quickly. Yes, I can see myself, fabulous. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing lineup. So worth sharing. I know a lot of women are going to be, you know, really finding this of real value, of real benefit as well. So I'm going to share this on my timeline. And yeah, what do we like? Reach for Greatness. I'll just use hashtag Reach for Greatness TV. So if you would like to do that as well, that would be amazing. And I'm gonna start straight away right into, I've got 15 minutes before I got the amazing goal coming on to talk about money mindset. I'm gonna go through the agenda for this afternoon as well. So bear with me. I just really wanted to position what is Reach for Greatness, what is Reach for Greatness TV, and who am I as well. So who am I here to stand here and bring this to you? So I am Sabine Matharu, and I am the host of the Reach for Greatness TV, and I'm also the founder of Reach for Greatness and the Fast Track Business Launcher. Now, I am the go-to woman if you want to launch and grow your business and achieve a sustainable income without overwhelm, guesswork, or detours. And today we are going to see, first at 12:30, it's Gul Khan who's going to talk about how can changing your identity change your bank account. At 1 o'clock, we'll have the amazing Jenni P, and she's going to talk about how to create your iconic lifestyle and soul brand. And after Jenni, at 1:30, we're going to speak to Konnie, who is an organizational whiz. She's going to talk about how to get simply organized and more productive. And at 2 o'clock, we're going to have Sashka, who's going to talk about brand leadership. She's amazing. I love Sashka. And at 2:30, we're going to have Suzie. And now Suzie is amazing. She is a PR guru. I mean, she's been in so many publications, and it's just amazing when I saw her website, what she's done and how she's built her businesses. So she's going to talk about, first and foremost, what is PR and how does PR benefit our small businesses, and how can we go about it, right? That's always the question. How can we benefit from it? How can we do it? And at 3 o'clock, which is the last slot, we're going to have the lovely Naomi, who is going to talk about resilience. Now, she is an adventure mountain climber. That is just mind-blowing. What she's got, adventures and tales and stories. It's just phenomenal, right? So before Gul's coming on, I've got probably now only 10 minutes to get, not even, to get through the rest. I mean, my story really, very briefly, is I've created this platform, Reach for Greatness, for women like me who, you know, maybe fed up with the 9 to 5, because I was a bit fed up. I wanted to work flexibly around my children. Maybe you want to start your business, or maybe you've already started your business and you may be stuck. You may be overwhelmed because of shiny objects. You know, you're seeing lots of different things that you need to be doing, could to be doing. You're watching video after video and it's just not moving you forward. So you're wondering, you know, what is the way to the top? So you are in the right place if that is you, because I have been there. I can completely relate to exactly that. I've been stuck. I used to work in corporate and I found myself being redundant several times. And, you know, regardless of how many hours I've been working, regardless how a loyal employee I was, you know, I was let off. So this is life, right? And then I had 2 kids, and I started my own consulting business very early on when I had my second baby. At first, and then indeed it was really overwhelming, and I thought there was a magic button that would just make my business success overnight, but I was wrong. And after a long-winded road, I truly wish that I had someone that could kind of teach me that stuff, not only teach but also walk me through the process and show me step by step and help me implement and then make tweaks as we go along as well. That's what I really wished for. And this is really the reason why I have created Reach for Greatness. This is the reason what I do. As an extension to the Reach for Greatness, you know, I actually want to reach as many women as possible. And this is why I created the Reach for Greatness TV as an extension of my brand. And, you know, it was kind of brewing inside me. I've already had the kind of passion, the desire to create this inspirational platform where we can actually all become visible. We can bring lots of women and men together, you know, and collaborate in business, and we can open up opportunities and provide choices in life. Because for me, reaching for greatness in life, you know, it's not just about reaching for greatness in business. You know, you may not want to build that business, but it's about reaching greatness in all areas of life, right? So thank you so much for joining in, Bridget, and for the hearts. Good morning. So it's, you know, reaching for greatness really is about being great in terms of your mindset every single day. How do you live your day? It's in your relationships, it's in your parenting if you are a parent, right? It's very important. Also to keeping up with your health. And, you know, you can work in many different areas where, you know, you can actually reach for greatness. But it's going to only happen in incremental steps. It's not a magic button where suddenly you wake up and it's like everything's great, right? It's making tiny shifts that will make huge impacts, not only on your own being, but also around, you know, all the people that are around you as well, because they will feel the energy and the positivity, and you can impact them as well, right? So, as I already said, let's share and develop this platform, you know, because this is all about building a powerful visibility and great content for women and men. Ian, I do not want to leave you out. Of course, it's for men as well. But I would encourage you to please share the Reach for Greatness live TV with the hashtag Reach for Greatness TV, and I also have a little goodie as well. So if you do share, I'll go through all the entrants. So you're going to be entered into a prize draw, and because this is the first month I'm running this, I'm actually giving away 3 amazing spots for a deep dive coaching session with me. Ian has already won one, so Ian, if you're still there and if you thought the coaching session was good, then please let people know it's well worth doing it. So it's just about sharing. Hashtag Reach for Greatness TV. Fabulous. Have paper and pen ready as well, because there's going to be lots of different speakers, lots of different content coming your way as well. But we also make sure that you can implement that right away. Make sure you're asking questions, okay? If you are not sure how to do this or what's meant, then please ask questions, all right? So I think also reaching for greatness is about getting out of your comfort zone, right? And this is what I've done in terms of creating this platform, you know, becoming more visible and stepping out and becoming visible, right? So, and, you know, when I started my business, I was like kind of hiding, right? I didn't really want to do the sales thing because I thought it was a bit sleazy, and, you know, and I didn't really want to do Facebook Lives, and I didn't really own it, right? So I was kind of fiddling on my website, and I wrote Facebook posts here and there. That was me. And what changed for me then all of a sudden is like, well, I realized, well, people are not gonna punish me or judge me if I want to do something great in life, right? I mean, if they do judge, then let them judge, right? But if you're not visible, if you're not out there, I kind of feel like I owe it, not just to myself and my business and my family, but I also owe it to all these amazing women in the world that I could help achieve greatness in their life and in their business, okay? And so that they don't need to struggle and be lost like what I was once upon a time, right? And with the sales thing, I thought, well, actually it doesn't need to be salesy and sleazy, but it's all about having collaborative conversations and offering help. And Ian saying, I'm not going anywhere. Sabine, the coaching session was awesome. Sabine is one of the best coaches I've come across in my 63 years. And I'm a coach myself, and she knows what buttons to press. And that's where, fortunately, it cuts off. And I'd have to go over to read the full comment. But that's so kind of you, Ian. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure helping you become clear, because you've got amazing, so many things to give. So it says buttons to press, prepared for uncomfortable, and in a very nice way. Yes, I am. That's the thing. I'm not saying I'm making life uncomfortable for people, but it's about self-reflection, and I'm not want to please my clients. I want to hold their mirrors up in front of them and say, look, is this, are you really stepping up? Are you really in your fullest potential? And if not, then this is about coaching you through that and making sure, because that's what I do. I'm holding my clients, right? I'm not like criticizing and say, well, you're not doing well and all this is wrong. That's not at all the way I coach at all. And that just brings me nicely to, I have been coaching actually for about 17 years now, because I was also working in the corporate world, and I've been able to help hundreds of professionals and entrepreneurs, during my training, consulting, and my coaching career. So I'm just going to wrap up in a minute. I think, Gull, if you're here, then just say hello, and then I can invite you. I'm just going to wrap up. Just wanted to say, really, imagine, someone could help you with your business startup and growth end to end. Someone who helps you to get the results fast and without the overwhelm. Someone who has your back and holds you accountable. That's, how I love to work. And, imagine not having to hire someone separately for each of the areas, because I'm thinking, well, what is it really what I'm doing? Because I know about branding, I know about websites, I know about Facebook ads, the whole social media shebang. I can build also pages. I'm doing sales funnels as well as email campaigns and autoresponders. And, you'd actually need so many different people if you want to bring everything together. So, I have sort of this end-to-end understanding and picking up gaps and bringing up ideas very quickly, devise a strategy for you which is completely tailored for your business, and then I also help you implement that alongside, so I'm walking alongside you, helping you craft your messages, your offers, social media campaigns, and I'm also able to implement all the technology like autoresponders, sales pages, and so on. So no more second guessing, no more overwhelm, no more struggle and procrastination, right? No more being stuck and doubting yourself, and having fun and having me on your case. So if that sounds like, yes, that sounds like good, and you are in a place of overwhelm, you are in a place of frustration, maybe not making the desired income, maybe this is why you're here today, because you want to learn all about different strategies, you are maybe even getting gray hair over technology, you're not knowing how the things actually fit together and how everything can actually work in harmony to produce the results that you truly want. If that is the case, then it's great that you're here. I'd also like to reach out to you and invite you to come and join my free Facebook group, which is a community of women entrepreneurs, and it's called Reach for Greatness with Sabine Matharu, and I'm going to post a link in a minute. And secondly, I also offer a free connection call where I'm happy to review your business idea. If you're just starting up, or if you're already a little bit more established, then, you know, I'll look at, I'll give you genuine ideas around what you could do next. And of course, you know, would like to know more around, you know, if you would like to know more around how we can work together directly, then we can also have that call. And again, I'm going to put a link in the description how you can get in touch with me as well. So let's see if we got Gull is, she can't join. I'm switching the phone off and on. Okay. Oh no. Well, I'm ready for you, Gull. That's a shame. That is a shame. So maybe it's not charged up. Well, if Gull can't join us, then you know what? You've got to actually you've got to put up with me then. Is that what you want to do? I do have a little topic prepared just in case someone doesn't show up or has some trouble. Let's see who else is here quickly. So Bridget. There's 5 people watching, but I can't see everyone. So if you're here and you know, I'm not gonna eat you. You know, I'm not biting. So let me know who you are and where you're from as well, right? Okay, you go for that, Ian. Okay, so let's see. I mean, we'll give Gull a couple of more minutes. Let me just see if I've finished my little introduction. So I was kind of rushing this. So yeah, I got some notes here, as you can see. That's why I'm probably trying to, I've got my phone on the right hand side and I've got my laptop on the left, so I'm kind of trying to keep up. And Jenny is here as well. Okay, so worst case scenario, we've got Jenny and Konnie already watching. Worst case scenario, Gull cannot join. Either of you, Jenny and Konnie, would you be able to come in on an earlier slot, e.g. now? So let me know. If you're ready, then we'd have to do that. We'll just have to play it by ear, right? We've just got to be a bit flexible in this environment. So Gull, I'm just going to give you another minute. Probably best, Gull, when you join the live stream, and if you can hear me, then just say hello, okay? So just comment when you arrive so that I see that you're there, so that I can add you. All right? So Gull's just replying. So we've got Konnie. Konnie is, where are you, Konnie? Come on, let people know you're in an amazing place. I know that. And also Jenny lives in an amazing place. I'll have to come and visit you both. Oh no. Okay. So Carl, you just need some instructions. Okay, cool. So Konnie is in Paris, in beautiful Paris, and I'm not sure. Jenny is here. Jenny, I think Jenny, are you in France as well, aren't you? In the Pyrenees. It was amazing when I had a pre-call with Jenny. She showed me where she lived, and she's up in those beautiful mountains. I'm like, wow. I mean, I'm from Austria myself, but now I'm in the UK, and I do miss the mountains. I really enjoy hiking in the summers and going skiing in the winters as well. I do miss that. So always love gorgeous people to visit. Yeah. And obviously if you come over here, very close to London, you know, it is a fabulous place as well. Lots going on, and you know, so Gull is just on her way, so she can't comment. Oh, that's a strange one. That is really strange, because it did work when we went into the group, and did a little pre-check. So you know what we need to do, Gal? I think we just need to pre-record our little session, because I'm so gutted, because Gal has got the most amazing content. Hi Shola, nice to see you as well. Yes, she shared. Thank you, Gal. That is really, really strange that you can't comment. So what we'll do is, Gal, don't worry, we are going to perhaps go live in my group at some point this week. Would that be amazing? And then if whoever is here watching, would you like to join the group, and then see if we can either pre-record Gal's session and then you can rewatch it in the group. Actually, I'm just going to give you the links as well. So there's 2 links. The first one is my free Facebook group, where I do live trainings, and there's lots of freebies there as well. There's a little pin post. So I'm just going to drop that into the comments. I can't see you watching either, Gull, but you know what? I'm going to just try to invite you straight away. So I'm just going to post 2 links. One is the Facebook group link. You can just join in. I think if you click on it, it'll probably take you out of this live stream. Probably not that great. And if you want to book a free connection call with me, which I'm always happy to, and give you some insights around your business idea, if you haven't started yet, or if you are stuck in your business, then I'm happy to cast an eye over it and have a conversation. And I'll let you know what I do as well. And if it fits, then maybe we can work together. Okay, so I'm gonna get Gal. Hopefully, if she's watching, theory, I should be able to invite you, but it doesn't always work that way. Fingers crossed. I'll send you an invite, Gal. Okay. The invitation is on its way. Okay, so otherwise, Konnie, would you be ready to do your slot? Just plan B. I like to do plan Bs because I'm a project manager by heart, so if it's okay, or Jenny, either of you. But let's see, fingers crossed. I've sent Gal the invitation to come and watch and join me. Gal, doesn't look it. Anyway, so that means I can't actually invite you twice, so it's just gone now, and you should have received an invitation. Worst comes to, as I said, we can do a live separately, and ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to come and watch Gal talk about and this is, I know Gal, when she's on fire when she talks about these things. How can changing your identity change your bank account? So yes, she's watching all the time. Unfortunately, Gal, I can't, I don't know why this is happening either. Yeah, it's a strange thing, isn't it? Because we tried it in a closed Facebook group and it worked fabulous. And for some reason it doesn't work on this page. All right, okay. So let's see, Konnie, when is your slot? So Jenny's slot is at 1 o'clock. I can entertain you for another 15 minutes because I do have a topic ready. I could do that quite happily. Always need to be prepared. Gal, don't worry about it. If you're getting grey hair over this, then we'll catch up. Oh, I don't know why it's happening either. It's a strange one. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We have to check your phone. Maybe it's we should do it on my page next time as well. Yeah. Is that all right, girl? Or you do a live now on your page and then you shoot it over and you tag people in, like, I've done my topic. It's another option. Okay, so right, in this case, Jenny's probably going to be here in about 10 minutes, so I'm just going to really briefly, I think it helps everyone. I'd like to talk to you then about how to create your brand and a message without having to spend money on a fancy website. Because this is really something that I thought I needed to have a fancy website before I actually started my business. But you know, it's not really the case. Because once you do have a fancy website, right? First and foremost, I did my own website. Then I wasn't happy with it because it didn't really look the part. And then I actually went out and I got someone to design a website for me. But once I had a website, which is fabulous, obviously you can send, you know, people onto your website, but you need to make sure that your website actually converts, because people might just come, visit and go again, right? So this is the craft that you need to be able to keep people engaged, and you need to also have some sort of a mechanism in place on your website to actually capture your potential clients, right? For example, give something away, something for free against an email address, so that you can actually follow up with them again, right? So yeah, so really I've got fancy website and I'm really happy with it. However, it doesn't mean that, you know, the next day, once I had launched my website, there were hundreds of visitors coming on, you know, organically, like as we all would like, right? Visitors are not really flooding onto my website. It's about then taking the website or parts of the website and then driving traffic, I would say. Like, driving traffic means promoting the website on social media, or we can do ads on Google and stuff like that, so people actually click on link and then they come to your website. So you've probably seen that, right? So, and you've probably seen good websites and bad websites. So good websites have some sort of mechanism, you know, they're very inviting. You know exactly when you come to the homepage, you learn exactly, you know, what is this person doing? What's the benefit for me to look at, read through the stuff, and what information has this person got. You know, maybe there's a blog on there as well that gives more information. And also within the blog, there are opportunities to actually capture people's email addresses or give some sort of free call away, and a call, yeah, like a free consultation, or you could have like a little a checklist in shape of a PDF. But make sure that you're actually collecting people's email addresses, right? So yeah, so I think that's sort of in a nutshell why is it important. So why is it important then to have a message, right? You need to, first and foremost, before you actually think about having a fancy website, you actually need to know what you want to put on the website. And you also want to have a picture around who is your ideal target market, who are the people that I would want to come to my website and see what I've got there, right? So it's about making sure you know who that person is, making sure that you speak to that person, right? So that's about nailing your message, nailing your target market, and having some sort of elevator pitch in place, right? So that you can actually talk about your business, you know, very quickly, or people can just grasp very quickly when they land on your website, what is this all about? Because quite often it can be confusing. There may be a big picture and lots of blocky text. So watch out around that in terms of people will probably bounce very quickly if there's lots of blocky text. I mean, just think about yourself. Well, how would you like to read text? How would you like to consume things? How do you want it visually to be laid out, right? You don't want to have a really messy page. You want to be able to have some bullet points, some space, maybe some bold print in between, and some pictures here and there that do relate to what you're doing, right? So Yeah, so it's really important to know all these things and to start with the foundation, which is the core message. And I think it's really good to actually give you this little introduction, because we will have two people who talk a little bit more about your own brand. And so we have Jenni and Sashka going to talk about branding in more detail. So they will also tell you that the foundation is that you need to know who's your customer, right? And even maybe give a name to that customer. Is it male, female? How old is that person? What's their hobbies? What's their lifestyle? Because when you know these things, you will then know what do they read. So for example, do they read a magazine? Do they read books? What kind of people do they follow online? Where would they be hanging out as well? Is it Facebook, or is it rather LinkedIn, or is it Pinterest? So there's a bit of research underneath. And you know what? I thought I had my message nailed, and 6 months down the line, I had to redo my whole message because it just didn't work. And I was trying to serve everyone under the sun, which doesn't work either, because if you do that, then you're going to serve when nobody really, you know, you're talking to no one. If you're trying to talk to everyone, you're not going to talk to no one, right? So I might say, yes, I do like to work with women. Doesn't mean that I don't want to work with men, but I guess the way I'm presenting the Reach for Greatness, it's all about tailored towards women, and obviously I'm inviting women to the platform. And I'm not saying that, you know, men haven't got value to share and men don't need this information at all. Actually, that's not true. I guess it's just I can perhaps relate more with women, and I know how it feels. For example, when you're building a business whilst having a family, whilst, you know, being busy, whilst juggling school and business and house, right? So I can completely relate to my target audience, and perhaps they can relate to me if, you know, if women are trying to start the business whilst all of this is going on, they're feeling frustrated and overwhelmed, not knowing where they need to get started, or they started and get stuck, and trying to watch all these videos on YouTube, or buying all these sort of group programs where, you know, I've seen it before. I've been in group programs where pretty much nobody really cares whether you're implementing or what you're doing and how you're doing things. So this is where I said, well, no, I don't really want to offer that sort of thing. I mean, I can do that, and I can do, you know, I have some digital programs as well that people can buy. But I think, you know, once you start working with someone one-to-one and they really understand, you know, where the gaps really are, and, you know, you have that sort of person you can sort of bounce off ideas as well. And that goes back to, you know, my clients come and say, oh, I need to have this website in place. I haven't got a website, I haven't got a business. I'm like, no, you don't. Really, you don't. You don't need to have a website. You know, it's great to have a page somewhere, and this could be, as a starting point, a Facebook page where you can capture an email address or invite someone for, you know, to contact you. That's all possible, but you don't have to have a fully fledged website. That's in time. But, you know, I put myself under so much pressure to put a website together with, I think I have now 5 pages on it, and I have gazillions of blogs, and I thought I needed to have about 20 blogs before I can actually go live, because otherwise it doesn't look right. It doesn't look like a fully fledged website. But really, it was just something that I was telling myself, and I was telling myself that I can't actually start that business without actually having a website. And obviously my husband is a graphic designer, and he has actually done my wonderful branding. And I guess in a way it didn't really help that when you're working with a graphic designer, they actually tell you need to have a website in order to, you know, become visible and go out, because obviously they like to be sort of perfectionists, and he wants me to have everything branded before I actually release anything online, right? So it's not that helpful. It's not needed. It's nice to have. It's great. And it's something that you can completely work towards. What's most important is that you know your target audience, and you know what their pain points are, and you know what you can offer, and perhaps even what you can offer differently to what's out there already, and perhaps, you know, the things that they wouldn't get anywhere else. Like what I'm saying is, there are programs out there that, you know, these like self-study programs where I guess it doesn't really have that sort of impact than working with someone, having those conversations and putting things in place, exactly the things that you need right now. Whereas if you're watching videos, you know, maybe you're watching something that you think, well, actually, I'm not quite there yet. I don't need that until 6 months time. So, and Konnie says, you so much like my beginning self 3 years ago. Yeah, exactly. And we probably must have started, I started about 6 years ago, really. And I really sort of sorted myself out in the last 2 years. And that is a painful lesson, because you sort of going around and around in business, and not really, you know, making the impact, so that you're kind of busy working, doing stuff, but then not making the impact. And that is really painful, because you're wasting so much money and time and energy, and, you know, you're getting more and more frustrated, and you almost feel like, oh, do I really need to give up on that dream? Maybe, you know, I know that a few ladies come to me and they said, well, I need to now go back into my into a full-time job because I can't afford being self-employed anymore. And I said, look, don't give up. It's fine to go back into a job temporarily, but, you know, don't give up, and look at what you've built there. Look at, you know, how much passion you have, how much of a gift you can actually share with the world. So don't give up. It's never about giving up, and it's about, yeah, maybe it's a temporary solution. And I say, well, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. You know, we've got to pay our bills at the end of the day. Yeah. So, yeah, it's really important, I guess, to create a strong brand identity in time. And, you know, you want to stand out, of course, from your competitors, and you want your target market to notice and to understand you. And at the end of the day, when you have everything lined up, all your ducks in a row, and that may actually take some tweaking. It's not like, right, I'm going to build this sales funnel, these pages, and now all of a sudden you got like hundreds of leads coming through. That's not going to happen overnight. It's a tweak. It's tiny shifts. And so Raj says, being an entrepreneur is a challenge. However, it's worth it because you do what you love. Yeah, great words of wisdom. Yes, Raj, it's absolutely true. And, you know, I think we're blessed. We're blessed in that sense, just to be flexible as well. I mean, I love my flexibility. Obviously, I've got small children, and when the holidays are coming around, I'm thinking, well, I don't need to, you know, worry about childcare, because, you know, in this country, childcare is really, really expensive. You've got to actually think twice whether you want to get the childcare or whether you want to go to work. And some lower paid jobs, you know, you probably just about break even, I would say. Because when I did that calculation, I thought, oh my goodness, you know. And on the other hand, if you can't be with your children, you can't see them just in the evenings for an hour before they go to sleep. I feel like I don't really see them grow up, and I don't know what's going on. They need my help at home now with homework as well. So it just, for me, it just works out all the way around. And I've always been passionate about what I'm doing. So just to reach out and helping more and more women is just a dream, a real dream. So any more questions? I think we're almost ready for Jenni. I can talk more, of course. But if Jenni is here, then obviously I'd like to invite her in, because she's got lots. Jenni is just amazing. I met Jenni in January this year, when we were together at a live event in London, and it was about 100 women entrepreneurs, and she sat next to me on the table, and, you know, her spirit is just fantastic, right? She's just such an out of the box person, and she told me she's going to go over to the USA, and she's going to work on a reality TV show. So I'm sure she could tell you all about that when she comes in. Jenni, if you're here, right, just let's do that. Just say hi. I know you were there watching 15-20 minutes ago. If you are ready, then just say hi in the comments, and then I will get you on, okay? So yes, Rog, look forward to hearing what Jenni has to say. Yes, awesome. Jenni is here, fabulous. So I'm just going to get you on a camera, and I've got a little intro. Jenni, I've got a little intro for you as well. So, Jenni is the manifesting mama. Yay! Hi, Sashka. We got Jenni in the house. Yay! Hello. You are. I got my notes here. You are the manifesting mama. Yay! Helps high-achieving women professionals make massive strides in their personal and professional lives by aligning them with their highest, most fabulous, fit and wealthy selves. Beautiful. Jenni is success mentor of the TV reality show Fix My Brand with Ali Craig on Apple TV, and also high vibe expert for Empire. Oh, because you put her in capital letters.
That's how it's spelled. But it's Empire.
EMPI her. Empire magazine. Fabulous. So great to have you here.
Yes,
now you well tell us.
Well done. Congratulations for holding out. You did it really, really professionally and beautifully. I was like, I could listen to her all day.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's so lovely. Well, I think I just kind of seeded the ground a little bit for you and for Sashka, talking about how important it is to have a message right, and when about coming onto a website and it doesn't look captivating. So I think you probably talk a little bit on a different angle, but then I think when Sashka comes in, we probably can pick that up again later. So Jenni, yes, just tell us a little bit what did you do this year when you went to the US and you had all these amazing photo shoots, and I saw all that stuff happening on Facebook, and it's like, whoa, what is she doing?
Well, this is the manifesting mama in action. Is last year in 2016, I was a candidate on Fix My Brand with Ali Craig, which is Ali Craig is a brilliant 19-year brand industry expert, and she's created this reality TV program, which is showing on Apple TV Success Network at the moment. She's trying to get on Netflix, which would be awesome, because I'd like to be in there. And so I was a candidate. I got picked from hundreds all over the world as a candidate, and she redid my brand, and she basically took my whole business apart. Well, I didn't even have a business. I just come back online. So it was between her prowess and my own work, which is the subject of what I teach to others. Not only did I turn my brand around to to something that was totally aligned with myself, she invited me to be mindset mentor on season 2 of Fix My Brand with Ali Craig. So this year I've actually been on the team of Fix My Brand, and I've just been out to Florida to do the video shooting with the brands. And what was fabulous, first of all, I was just totally in my element. It was like, yes, this is where I need to be. But we took all of this season's candidates, eight brilliant business ladies, and we took them through my work, which is called the Trinity Code, and they all had the most massive shifts and and it helped to build their new brand, which I hope will come out in the filmed version. So it was very, very, very exciting, because I also got to rediscover a love of mine that I'd completely forgotten, which is styling, which is dressing up, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I love your color, by the way. It goes with my Reach for Greatness.
It does, yes. It was strategic.
Okay, fabulous.
So I rediscovered that, because I'd spent years and years and years loving clothes and modeling and dancing and that sort of thing. So that kind of has come back into it. So, and then I'm going back out to Las Vegas in June to work on Empire magazine, because I'm one of the contributors to Empire magazine. So it's very exciting.
Wow, that's amazing. And I mean, how did you work with these women then, in terms of coaching side of things? How did that work sort of on a day-to-day basis? And how long were you there for?
I was there for 10 days, but I'd already done the coaching work actually before I went out. So they'd already been through my Trinity Code process before we went out to film there. So that was on the set. It was about styling and getting them to talk about their own businesses and their own brands. So it was really, really interesting and very dynamic. It's super dynamic in a TV reality show, because you get all the drama in, that we don't see. You don't see, the drama, the bitching, that's the TV reality show. The breakdowns, the affinities or lack of them. So it's a brilliant idea, making a TV reality show out of rebranding. It's a very clever idea. So,
wow. So I mean, I can only kind of imagine it to be a little bit like The Apprentice, like Alan Sugar's Apprentice. Do you know that TV show?
Yes.
Was it something like that?
I don't know, because I don't watch television, but yes, that's the idea, is that you take brands that aren't working, for whatever reason, and then give them a makeover, basically, and then film them through the process of the makeover, and then Ali's own speciality is design, especially website design and the overall branding. So what I was able to bring to that was more inner branding. I would say is finding the candidates to find their own iconic self, because the way that I describe what I do is to help people find their own iconic self and their iconic lifestyle, which is very, very close to what you were talking about in your introduction about being the best us, living our best life, which isn't just about our business. It's a whole life balance. And honestly, I think, it's not I think, I've been studying this for so long. This life balance isn't just something that you get right when your business is going well. It's like we don't just go like, when my business is running, I'll just I'll lose those.
But that's the challenge. We always say, when I have this money, I will go and have a massage or I buy new clothes, and that is not the good approach, because you always sort of living in the lack, isn't it? If you bring this to you right now, even if you don't have money, but you can still enjoy the lifestyle, it will get you into a better state straight away, so that you can actually produce the better business, to be the better parent, right? That's something that I had to learn by myself. And I think a lot of people actually still think in that way, I can only do this when.
Yeah, well, it's completely the wrong way around, because we live in a universe that's made up of that is composed of energy, and everything starts with, I'm all about energy and consciousness, and everything starts with thought, observation, and feeling. So everything about your lifestyle has to start with the inner work first, and it isn't just mindset. You know, there are so many big gurus teaching mindset, but you can't get your mind in the right place until your soul is in the right place, until your inner, you know, eternal being is in the right place. But when you do, the right thoughts arise spontaneously, and the right feelings arise spontaneously, and those are the ones that bring your you know, your best lifestyle to get together and attract what you want.
That's amazing. I mean, is that what you teach then in the Trinity Code? Sounds very intriguing to me.
Yes, the Trinity Code is like a new universal principle. In fact, it's not a new universal principle. It's been there forever, but nobody's actually picked it up before now. And in my years and years and years of researching as to what makes a balanced life, and what is it that you know, allows us to attract what we want. I discovered that there is a trinity, there is a threefold nature to everything in the whole cosmos. I mean, everything. There is nowhere that you can't find the rule of three, whether it's in science, maths, culture, language, literature, design, in blood proteins, in neurological wiring. So it's in our bodies. We think in threes. And of course there is the mind, body and soul. You know, it is no coincidence that we are made up of three parts: mind, body and soul, or mind, body and etheric being, whatever you want to call it, and that we live in the third dimension. You know, is that the universe is built on a threefold nature, that when you know how to use this, you can unleash the most incredible personal power, and you know, and to find your authentic truth, your iconic truth. And your iconic self, to me, is that that you know, everybody came here to it's not just life purpose, it's that we all came here with a unique blueprint, with a unique life blueprint, that, you know, that is there to move the whole world, the world on in some way. And most of us forgot it, you know, when we moved out of childhood and into adolescence and what have you. So it's rediscovering this blueprint, and then applying this rule of three, or this power of three, or this trinity, to up level your life in every single area of your life, whether it's the business, fitness, relationships, everything.
That's beautiful, and that's the thing, isn't it? We have just forgotten it.
We have. It was programmed out. It was programmed out of us, and also in the West. You know, we were our Western education was much more based on being mind and body. And you know, all of the etheric and the spiritual side, and the soul side, and all of that was just gone. You know, we were brought up with Newtonian law, and you know, and all that, and we just kind of forgot that we have this mind, body, soul balance, and they absolutely have to be aligned so that we can fulfill you know, our true potential and know who we are.
So is this something that we kind of lose automatically in childhood, or is there something that we as parents can do to support our children not to lose that? Yes.
I've never done yet a Trinity Code with a child, but basically the access points to the Trinity Code are through what we love best of all, what we really puts us absolutely in our bliss, what we do best innately, you know, what our natural gifts, and our core values, what is most important to us. So when, you know, most of the time we're operating in one, maybe two of those, but when all three of those come together, then we are absolutely in our zone of genius, and we all have a zone of genius. And,
can you say those three again? I'd just like to capture that. So that was your values.
First of all, bliss.
I'm just going to type that up. So I've got my laptop here. It was in my view just about 2 minutes ago.
So bliss. when you're in your timeless bliss, nothing else matters.
You've got values.
You're in the flow, in the zone. Your gifts, and we all have, innate talents, and some of them we're so bloody good at. It's completely natural. We don't have to try. And then what really stirs our hearts, our core values, what's really important to us, and what makes us feisty, what makes us even angry sometimes. And when those three, the work in the Trinity Code is to find the commonality and to bring them to bring all those three, and then you unleash the most incredible personal power. So the thing is that those three states, those three qualities of being, both bliss and gifts and core values, are all what I call portals to the soul. They're portals to elevated emotion, and elevated emotion is the highest energy and the highest vibration. So
wow. And that's where you are in flow, like things just happen for you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it feels like, right? Absolutely. That's like for me.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Reach for Greatness. That's like Reach for Greatness TV when I had the idea, because I like to bring people together. I like to have conversations. I like to bring value to the table. So I guess this is where things flow, and then you kind of get the feedback, I guess, as well.
Totally. And that's. But the thing is that I think I might have told you this little tale. When I came to France 27 years ago, have I got enough time to tell you the story?
You do have amples of time.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The next person's on 1:30.
Okay.
1:30 is the next one. Yeah. It's Konnie.
So when I was 18, I dreamt of being or doing something artistic or doing something with horses, and my parents just refused to let me do what I wanted and told me to go and get a job, and I rebelled massively, and then you relate to that, yes. So then over so I just wanted to get out of England and come to France, and when I got over here, I discovered this incredible thing called equestrian cabaret, which is basically all artistic forms of with horses, like theatre and all sorts of things. And I was just like, oh my God, I've died and gone to heaven. This is where I should have been all my life, and horses together. So to cut a long story short, within a few years after not having a horse and not sort of knowing anything about this world whatsoever, I actually got into a professional troupe, horse dancing, like doing ballet with my little white horse, who I manifested. Wow. And I even created my own equestrian cabaret under a big top with 12 horses, 12 actors, and I wrote it, directed it, performed in it, and it was incredible. And then one performance down in the Côte d'Azur in the south of France, this beautiful arena it was Mediterranean night. It was so gorgeous, and I was there in a white dress. I wasn't young. I'm not now, but it was just fabulous. And one night I'd just been dancing with my horse, and the troupe leader, she opened a chest, a big chest, and out flew this flock of doves, and they flew around the arena, and they settled on my horse as if it had been completely rehearsed. And I was like, oh my God,
what is happening? Yeah,
it was a sign. And honestly, I experienced a state of elation that I have never, rarely felt in my life, because I suddenly felt totally aligned, really, truly aligned with who I was. So after that was in 2003 or 4, I think, so about 15 years ago. So once that happened, I was already a big beginning to study even more about self-development, I started to research what it was in that experience that, you know, that gave me that feeling, and that subsequently I used again and again and again to attract opportunities, you know, including the Fix My Brand one, and to up level all of my life.
Amazing. So. Yeah, how did you get to on TV? I mean, did you just apply as like everyone else and just
on to Fix My Brand?
Yeah, on TV, because you said you've been picked from hundreds of people to come on the live show. Well,
this is, you know, this is how manifestation works. You know, if you're once you're aligned, the people will line up to bring you the opportunities that you need. It's as simple as that. So I have a very, very dear wealth mentor friend in the States who was just going through the rebranding herself. She said, "Jenny, this is for you, you know, apply." And you know, so it was like that. But I mean, if you're ready for it, if you're open to that, if you're aligned with who you are and what you should be doing, those opportunities will come to you.
It's amazing. It's almost like I don't want to say you don't need to do anything and it just can't come to you. That's probably not quite right. I guess it's about.
No, I work bloody hard, I can tell you.
Yeah. I guess, you know, that's the thing, because I came to realize it's not about working hard in your business. It's not about, you know, because when you're working hard and you're feeling overwhelmed, you're a slave in your business, then you're kind of blocking things. Like if you're not having fun, if you can't let go, if you're not, you know, you can't be creative. If you can't be creative, you cannot attract the right sort of energy. And you just have to let it go. Sometimes you just have to say, well, you know, I think I've done enough. Yes, you do need to work, but you don't have to work hard and slave in your business. That's not needed.
Yeah, there's a difference. There's a difference between effort and struggle, you know. Struggle is when there's resistance and that you really are trying to attain something that your mind thinks of. Usually that's a mind thing, you know. And that's when there's resistance and it's struggle. So when you're aligned with something, it doesn't mean that there isn't going to be effort, but it isn't a struggle. So effort and struggle are two different things.
That's right. And I guess if it's just looking back at what I've been doing, I mean, I knew what I wanted to do and I was probably aligned with what I wanted to do. I guess it's just the way I did it and the fact that I didn't set myself boundaries some of the times, and I didn't trust in the universe and trust in myself. That's why I was hiding. I wasn't really, you know, I wouldn't dare to speak my truth because I thought people might be judging. And I think a lot of people out there, especially entrepreneurs who are working online, might have a similar sort of stigma towards that, and they think, what if people don't like me? Well, and that's when you need to almost like jump over your own hurdles, your own shadow, and make it happen. And once you see the feedback, then all of a sudden, you know, okay, now I'm aligned. I'm getting the feedback. Now I'm on I'm maybe it was only 98% aligned. Maybe now I'm 100%. I don't know what happened, but it's about tiny shifts, isn't it? It's not like you're going to be overlined overnight.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I said it's about making the tiny shifts rather than there's not a magic button that says, well, you know, you go through this process and then you're 100% aligned in everything you do in your business.
Well, that's the second part. That's the second part of the Trinity Code. Is first of all you find this zone of genius, this you know, iconic self, and the second bit, and this is the tricky bit, as you just said, is to align your mind and your body with that soul truth. So that's where mind, body, and soul all have to come into alignment. And when I say body, I don't just mean well-being, I mean habits. You know, because our habits and our bodies run our minds. In actual fact, our bodies just go about, you know, all this routine, but that, you know, automatically. So that is always work in progress. Is getting our thoughts and our beliefs to align with the iconic self and our habits. So
can you maybe just leave 1 or 2 tips, because we're coming up to the half an hour, just 1 or 2 tips, how can one find out for themselves that they aren't aligned? And
that's
maybe
that's ever so easy if you're not living your iconic life.
I don't know, is there like 1 or 2 or 3 questions that typically then you realize, or signs, I guess, signs in life?
Any resistance in any part of your life, whether it's in money resistance, relationship resistance, any kind of struggle, any kind of challenge, any kind of self-doubt, because the Trinity code, once you live from this position of alignment, you're unknockdownable. I mean, you absolutely can't be knocked down. So any resistance or struggle is a sign that you're not in alignment.
Is there something, I mean, there's maybe not one remedy, I guess, but you just said about habits. Probably habits actually form a big part of your, I guess, your manifestation and your state of mind and how you go about life.
I've got a lovely one I can share with that. There's a sickness which is endemic, and it's called trinophobia. And it's a name that me and my beloved made up. And it basically means the fear of being whole. And it simply means when what you think and what you say and what you do aren't coherent, if they aren't all in alignment, don't all add up. And we are all guilty of it, because often we will think one thing and we will say another and we will do something else. Or we will do something and we're thinking, why the hell did I do that? You know, I don't really like that. Or else we'll say something that comes out of it and we think, why did I say that? It's not what I believe. So that's trinophobia. It's with the trini in it. It's making sure that what we think, what we say, and what we do are totally in coherence, in alignment.
Yes. We've got a question here from Ian. He asks, Jenni, how do you stop yourself judging others by your own standards?
I don't judge others at all, ever. All I've got is my own perspective, and everybody else has their own. And we're on a planet of 6 billion perspectives, and that is it. I don't have any judgment whatsoever. I just only have a loving heart for people to want to improve their lives. There is never any judgment. We all come to, you know, we all have the experience in life, including a lot of adversity, which I've been through, for our own learning. So who am I to you know to judge that? Yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. Any more questions for Jenni? Because we're going to wrap up, and it was so amazing to come, that you came on the show today, and I think you've got something really amazing for us, right? So we've got keephighvibe.com. So what have you got on the JenniP.com is one of your websites, and then you have the keepinhighvibe.com. You just let us know what people will find on the website. I'm going to post them.
They're pretty quiet at the moment because I'm actually rebranding myself again.
It's a continuous cycle.
It's a continual process, yes. So, if anybody is interested in this work, I'm actually running a Create Your Iconic Life 12-week challenge in my Facebook group, which is Keeping High Vibe Facebook.
Wow.
And it's a free 12-week challenge, and we go into all of the different areas We've done 2 weeks on mindset and belief. We just started today on body and wellness and habits. We're going to do styling. We're going to do money. We're going to do your success environment. So up until the end of June, there's a
joining as well. So what is your Facebook group called? Can I just type it in?
Keeping High Vibe, and that's the name of my page as well.
And it's your page as well, right? I'm just gonna put that in. And Facebook, keep in High Vibe. When is that starting, your challenge?
It started 2 weeks ago, but anybody can jump in at any time, because we have a different theme for each 2 weeks, and all of the lives, all of the videos are still in the group, so people can just, you know. And there's a worksheet for the 12 weeks. There's my very special affirmations sheet that people can download, and I jump in live every single day with a mini masterclass and some inspiration. So
that sounds amazing. So I've just posted that. Thank you so much for coming on, and I love you, and I leave you. Where did you say? It's the Pyrenees, isn't it? Is this
the Pyrenees Mountains.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, next time we'll be outdoors then, right? We'll do another one in summer.
Yes, definitely.
It would be amazing.
Thank you very, very much for inviting me. And just everybody, just keep reaching for greatness. And the way to reach for greatness is to keep in high vibe.
Fabulous. Yeah, it fits so well. Lucy's watching as well. Hi, Lucy. Konnie, come on, say hi. I hope you're still watching, because it's your slot now. Thank you very much,
Ian.
Ian loves it.
Thank you.
So, Konnie, hopefully, she was whizzing around just a minute ago. And Lucy, hey, Jenny. Just turning in. Yep. Catch up on the replay. That's fine. You can stay with us as well, because Konnie is going to come in as well now. Right. Thank you very much, Jenny. And shall I exit you, or do you want to exit yourself?
Anyway? I'll take it back.
I'll exit you. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So we are running late. We're running late. What's the time? 1:30. No, we are running on time, Sashka, because Konnie is coming in now, and then you are up at 2 o'clock. So that's another half an hour by my watch. Okay, so Konnie, I'm going to add you right now. And Konnie is talking about simply organized and productive. Hello, there is Konnie. Is the organizing and productivity pro, and she helps high achieving modern entrepreneurial women and professionals to make the most of your space in your life by decluttering your emotional, mental, and physical space, so that you can thrive by being the highest version of yourself in life and in business. And she's been working with corporate clients and private clients for over 25 years. And I guess you know what makes people tick, right? And
right.
I'm really very excited to bring that into life and business. Over to you. Are you ready? Are we good?
Yes, we're awesome. So I was listening to it, and a lot of things that Jenny said so resonated, and I'm working with my clients from the exactly same angles in a way. Hi, Riaz. Nice to see you. Thank you, Ian. And it's really about organizing is so much more, or being productive is so much more than just having a beautiful, nice box, or I don't know, color-coded folders, or cramming more into your day. I'm really approaching it because I've lived it myself a couple of times in my life. And I am a mom of two. So I reached a point where I just wanted to change that. It's really about being aware of who you are. What are your values? And this is really where I start, because when you don't know what your core values are, what's important to you, you cannot follow any organizational system and make it work for you in the long run, because everything will be so complicated for you, because your mind and your emotions and are just so crowded with stuff. This conference up here is basically being in a meeting 24/7. And so it was for me like that.
Okay. Mm.
And so
yeah, for me as well. Especially when you work from home, and
Yes.
when you have your own business, if you haven't clear boundaries or a space, and you've got to keep on finding the stuff, or you kind of lost track with paperwork, it can be really frustrating.
Yes, absolutely. And often I just, when I hit, my pillow, no, not when my pillow hit my head, when my head hit the pillow, I often felt that I didn't accomplish anything on that day, despite, that I was running around all day. But I really pleased everybody else in my life or in my business. And I hustled instead of just putting the effort in, because I just didn't know where I was really going. And really why core values are so important to us, because we have a compass. And the core values actually feed our compass. So when we know that, then we can kind of like make check marks on all the things we do every day and say, is this in alignment with the core value that we're having, or is it not? And when it's not, then it's a clear sign that it needs to go. Decluttering, right? But also it helps us to just be aware of who we really are. And I'm also helping clients, obviously, to let go of all those limiting beliefs that we start to believe when we're really young, often, or all those emotions that we're having that are not supportive. Like, my goal is really, through organization and productivity, to show you who you really are, what you're capable of, and to dare to dream up your dream life, your best life, to be your best you, because then you have the space and the energy and the freedom to really do that, and then to just do it, to have a plan in place, to put effort in it, and then surrender the rest. Because when you do something that's aligned to you, I feel, Jenny said, opportunities will come to you. And that doesn't mean you're not tweaking and twisting. It's a journey you're on. And whenever you're leaping up again, you're going to do it all over again. It's finding the joy in it too. But when you're not organized, when you're not,
I know how you can feel.
then
especially when you're so busy, and then things are just left around the house. That's what happens to me, because I told my husband, I said, look, I mean, he can. I work from. Well, we've got this open plan space here where it's like my dining table and stuff, and he works upstairs. He's self-employed as well, so he's working in his little office upstairs. And when he comes downstairs, he's like, "Oh, you haven't done the dishes. You haven't done the washing." I'm like, "Hang on, just pretend I'm at work. I'm not here, okay? I'm invisible." And I guess for me, it's about setting the time aside, and it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen in the daytime, but it's just about setting the time to do it. And for me, it's also, I mean, I had times when I was really behind with stuff, and not only with the housework, but also with the paperwork, lots of stacks of paper. And then when I needed something, it's like, oh my gosh, or even the school things, the kids' homeworks, and it was just muddled up all over the place. And that just, you look at the place and you think, oh my God, I just want to walk out the door.
Oh yeah.
And that is,
Yeah, I totally get that. Well, it's a lot about understanding, setting clear boundaries, which most women Men not so much, but most women really, really struggle with.
You will tell us.
You know, me too. But
so what was the question again, Ian? Question. So what do men not struggle so much with?
Men not struggle so much with boundaries. You know, when they say they work, they work. While when we say we work, we like to get distracted. So, especially in the situation that you just described at home, my husband sometimes works from home, but he works, so he works. And while when I'm working, you know, my daughters sometimes creep up and say, "Oh, mommy, who is that you're talking? What are you doing?" And, you know, and it's just making really clear that's a constant effort when you've never done it to say, hey, like from, I don't know, 3 to 5, mommy is working. I'm like not here. I'm with clients, and this is what I do. So, and also setting clear boundaries, meaning also when you don't. Yeah, that's right.
So
it's a communication.
She should come on the show. We'll tell her about boundaries, right?
Yeah. But it's also a lot about making the other person understand that even though you're home, doesn't mean you're like doing this. You know, in German we have the saying, you're wiggling your thumbs. You're actually meeting clients, preparing great products for your clients, doing market research, you know, if you have a team, to tell them what to do. If you're not having a team yet, then you need to do it yourself. So it's the best way to keep the focus is actually doing one task at a time. And that is also where boundaries comes in again. So when your wife, Ian, comes or calls you, then actually the boundary is to not take that call when you are busy in a project, because there is this thing. I'm recording with my phone. Yeah, every phone has an answering machine that hops on and says, "Hello, you've reached, I don't know, Ian Watts or Konnie Labecki or Sabine Matharu. Leave a message and I get back to you." They're not going to die. They may be a little angry at first.
Well, you know, my husband knows. I think when he's sort of out and about, he might be getting the kids or something. And I know he would only call me in an emergency. Yeah. And I tell you, the emergency will be then when he's standing in the supermarket and he says, "Which sausages should I get? The Lincolnshire or the pork sausages?"
Yeah. Right. So it's a lot about that. But really, do not allow distractions, because when you allow distractions, and actually social media is one of them, you tend to get lost in social media, no matter if it's Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, or whatever you're doing, or website. Stay focused. Like, ask yourself the question, the activity I'm doing today, does it bring me more forward to what I want to achieve? So if it doesn't, and social media often isn't, unless you use it very customized in a way for reaching your own audience and making connections.
Yeah, there's a few things you can do. Yeah, I think we should talk a bit more about that in a minute, because I think that would be really, really valuable about how to really deal with the social media and what's you get distracted by you typing now, right? No. She knows the boundary.
It's all my problem.
It's all my problem. Should have put the right things in place when I married her 43 years ago. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of relationships, right?
Do's and don'ts.
Right. That's a whole other topic. But yeah, being organized also reflects back on relationships. Generally speaking, when you know your core values, you know what's important to you, and when you set up your dream, what you want to achieve, or how you want to live your life and your business, then you know what you, how can I say that? What you're looking for in other people, what kind of relationships you want to have to fill your time with. And often we have relationships. Now, some we can change, like with mommy and love, right? But some we can. Our friends we choose. So friends that are no longer in vibration with what we want or who we are, it's okay to let them go. You know, they've been there for a part of our lives for a reason. We've learned what we could learn. And then there are other friends who are there from very young till very old, and they're just kind of like our soul sisters or soul brothers in a way. And that's okay, but to be aware of who is no longer supporting you, and to really allow them to go on. And
so that's your almost like your mental space.
Yeah, because we all need, we're social beings. You know, we need relationships in our lives. Well, we chose our husband and or wife. Good morning, Leslie.
Good morning, sweetheart. I love it.
You know, we chose him at one point. We had reasons why we fell in love. Relationship requires work, not just the married relationship, but so we need time for it in our space, and not just to be busy with other things, but we really need, when we think about the life we want to live and how we want to organize our time, it is so important to know what's our core value. What are the things we cannot imagine and do not want to live without? That's really, that make us us. For me, family, for example, is important. So for me, it is important to spend time with my children and my family. The day has 24 hours, just like, you know, for you. And then you want to work, you want to sleep, and you want to do self-care. So, but then how do you do the rest? And it's actually putting a strategic plan in place, live it for a few weeks and see what works and what doesn't, and then tweak it.
So how would you go about putting that plan in place then?
Actually take
a question you need to ask yourself.
Yeah.
What are the things I really do not want to live without? Like, for example, for me, it's a family. So there's family time. I know that the boundaries, the time when my children are in school, that's when I work. Once they come home, I know they need mummy's attention. First and foremost, they're hungry. Secondly, they need to do some sort of homework, and then we've got clubs to attend. And then in the evening, I don't really watch TV that much. I mean, I'm not into soap operas or watching bad news and stuff like that. I don't like that. So I tend to do some self-development or work again on my business, which I choose to do, right? But then I had times when I just could not have my health in check. Like when I didn't go to the gym anymore, when I was just eating freezer food. And that I had to actually reintroduce into my life. And that needs time and preparation and planning. And like this morning, I spoke to you as I just came back from the gym. I was all sweaty.
Right? Oh, that's okay.
So I do on Monday mornings. I go to the gym because I know it makes me feel good, and I know I've done it. And I got a planner on my fridge now. What's the food? Because my husband always comes to the fridge. He's like a little mouse, and the kids are mice as well. When they're home, they're just gathering around the fridge, and they say, "What can we eat? What can we eat?" I'm like, "Look at the schedule. What's today? Monday. We're making that."
Well, number one is everything is very individualized. Literally, I think, and the values have been difficult for me to just reading Ian's.
Ian says, I'm a bit older, I think, and the values you're talking about have been difficult for me to understand in my era. People got married for life, for example. Now 50% get divorced. Yeah, that's completely changed nowadays. It's so easy because I don't know why. And it's just
like marriage
misalignment, or maybe it's like that. I can't talk actually about this because I have it's only my opinion. My opinion is, yes, you have to actually work on your marriage every single day. It's not easy, especially when you have kids.
Yeah. So I think also
and the younger generation, Yeah, he says, but to extent I see selfishness.
You fell down. Sorry.
Yeah, you're very organized, Connie. You fell down. So
Okay, so here you are.
yeah, I think we could get into a little muddle here, assuming why. I mean, I think we need to get on one of my friends, Rian, who actually works as a relationship expert.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go live actually with Rian this week.
Yeah.
And Ian, hopefully come into the group, and we're actually going to talk about that in more detail. I think
Right.
she'll have really.
But like two thoughts.
From an organizational point of view, there may be things around, how can you make relationships well? How can you organize the time with your partner?
Yeah, but I think his question is really about if we are looking out, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ian, but I think his question is when people get married 50 or 60 years ago, or 40, I'm sorry, Ian, they get married for love, and they defined love also a little differently than we define now. We now feel we have to be in this state a lot of times, and there has to be the sex romantic spark, for example, or we didn't really look what made us happy, and we certainly didn't talk about it. We just lived life after expectations. That is my personal belief. That's what I see in lots of women. And now when we talk about possibilities and opportunities, and you can do, no matter what age, people get more honest with themselves if they really feel they live a fulfilled life. And often they don't want to put the work in, not just for relationships, but generally for creating the life they want. They don't, like 95%, a lot of studies show that 95% of humankind do not want to put the work in. It requires to be extraordinary, to go through rough times or to go through painful experiences to find who you really are. To maybe understand the other, to find a common ground, and to move forward. Only 5% actually use that time or use that effort that it takes to work through your shit stuff. Excuse me the language, but yeah. And that is something. And so nowadays people think, oh, the grass is greener over there, because it appears through social media or TV or whatever, greener over there. But actually, once they get there, they find it's not greener over there. It's just different. And then they're still as unfulfilled. And so they keep searching and trying to fill their life with stuff that is not aligning with their core values. And I find only when your things that you do in everyday life, day-to-day life, that fulfills your core values, that are your priorities, do you truly feel a sense of fulfillment, a sense of you accomplished something. You're here for a reason. You're making impact. I'll
read that in a minute.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. So a lot of thank you. So a lot of people don't do that. They feel, okay, my life is not what I dreamt, but yeah, it's mediocre. So let's continue mediocreness. That's, I guess, what I meant for. People resign. Yeah. And I'm on the side with my husband, trained also as marriage coaches, but that's more my hobby with him. Because for my own marriage as well, or any relationship, you can put that to any kind of relationship. It's really asking yourself, okay, how would you like to be treated as a friend? Or why so many people, including myself, struggled with money was because when money would be a person, let's call her Claire, then Claire wouldn't be my friend for sure. I hate her. For the longest time, I hated her. I used her to make people friends or to polish up my own self-esteem, to buy clothes or whatever. But she wasn't my friend. I didn't know her intimately. And so I was thinking, okay, if I would be in Claire's shoes or in Money's shoes, would I like to spend time with me? No, I wouldn't. I mean, don't we all like to spend time with people that believe in us, that encourage us, that push us forward sometimes, but that love us, that love spending time with us, right?
They trust you as well.
And they trust you, exactly.
They're not panicking.
And they're like, oh, right? Oh. Yeah. So, and that's why money doesn't come to you, and that's why you struggle with money. You have no plan in action. You don't follow up your financial organization. And manifesting is awesome, but manifesting doesn't work by just putting it out to the universe, saying, oh, please bring me clients or bring me money, because the universe will not give you something that you cannot handle. So when you cannot handle your current state of affairs, hi, Sashka, then you cannot handle any more of that, right?
So thank you, Uniform. You gave me this platform, and the universe obviously thought I could handle the technical challenges by going live and some people not showing up and me having to fill slots and being a stand-up comedian.
You've been awesome. Yay! No, you've done it really, really,
so
really
I'm just going to go back quickly. I've got Leslie's comment there. She says, I feel like the struggles in relationships, financial homekeeping, raising kids, life frustrations, and constructive conversations were hidden from kids, and how that those kids are getting married when things are tough. They think it's wrong because they never saw the parents having these struggles and assume it's wrong. Okay, so I guess it's just two things, Leslie. There's two things for me, and I think we're all in a situation where we're sort of handling conversations and discussions in front of children, and some of them I do choose not to have in front of them, because I know that they could actually sort of be damaged for life. If we talk about, say, money in terms of money is not our friend, or it doesn't come to us, or we don't have the money, it's then ingrained in their life, and they will have limiting beliefs going forward. So I think there's things we need to choose, I guess, to discuss with the children, or maybe in a different way, because I know that if they're listening in and, if say we go out and, I don't know, say my husband would say to me, oh, that's too expensive, we can't afford that, right? The kids will hear that and they will have that in their minds going forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's for me, it's because I've learned so much about mindset, and I'm for sure not finished with all of that. And also, you cannot get organized physically when this is all in disorder, because it's just a sign of your mental and emotional state. But the mind really forms in the years, let's say, between 0 and 6, 7, and 8, and not just by what they hear, but how you act. And so children are not, because their children disorganized, for example, it is often a reflection the mirror of our own behavior, or of the behavior of their followed hero, sometimes daddy. And some things they simply don't understand. They don't know the meaning of the word, or so certain things we discuss in private, sometimes also to make sure we're on the right page in decisive things, because some things are minor, and we all have our own way how we relate to our children, and they need both of our ways that give them value, and that took me time to learn that. But it's when we explain it to them and sit down with them and say, okay, we don't want to buy you every time something that you see and you like, because you have so many toys, you don't play with them because it's so much for you. You feel like, what do I play with first? And besides, I think it's important to be open to them about certain things. So when you go through financial struggle, to say, you know, we cannot just go to the bank and ask for more money. Okay, that's the understanding they have in the beginning. It's like, yeah, but you know, bank wants it back. So you need to somehow earn money to bring in money. And so right now we have a certain amount of money that we can spend on X or Y and Z. So why not spend it on something that gives us really joy? You know, or something, depending on your children, you know them best. But I feel to hide those is not the right thing. And yes, our parents often did. And yet I also find playing it totally out in the open, like we would talk to our best friend about it, for example, is not a healthy way often to tell to children, because they just don't understand.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. So we're drawing to an end, and we've got Sashka coming up next. Thank you so much, Konnie.
Loved it.
Just share with us, you've got you're simply organized with Konnie.com, and you've also got Wonder Women for Success, which is your Facebook group.
Right.
So I'm just going to share that. And let people know where they can find you and what's going on in your group.
So personally, I love to chat with you, each one of you, simply to get to know you and to find out what makes you tick, and find out just generally what energy you have. And if you have a problem in the areas that I can help you with, I always make sure anyway that our energies are in good match. And, you know, we can talk about that, but we can generally talk about some tips that move you on your journey, that are all about organizing and such. Or when you want to find out what, you know, organizing is for me. So on my website, Jenni talked about rebranding. I'm doing sort of the same. So there is not a lot on there, but
up-leveling, we call it.
Yes, up-leveling, big time. And my Facebook group is absolutely the Facebook group you can reach me at, and also men are welcome. I'm looking for a new name right now for that, because yeah, as I said, I've changed slightly my outlook on business, and yes, I focus on women, but also you know, men that feel they need help in organizing or getting a tip or two about how being more efficient or how to structure their day, because that's no different, can join it. Okay. But yeah, for right now, you can find me under those links, and yeah, just schedule an appointment on both sites. My scheduler is linked, so you can just fit your slot, find your slot and fit your slot. And then I'm happy to talk to you. And thank you so much, Sabine, for having me. And now,
you're so welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you. And that just reminded me as well, if anyone wants to schedule a call with me, of course they can also do that. I'm going to put my scheduling link there as well.
We have the same.
Talking about how to reaching greatness in business, right. And yeah, I'm doing all of that stuff within the business and helping businesses grow, and putting the strategies together. So yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Konnie. We're gonna talk to Sashka in a minute. Then maybe
she's amazing.
Pick up some of the rebranding tips.
Yes. No, she's really, really amazing. So
amazing, yeah. So you can book a call with Sabine Matharu as well.
Yes.
To talk about if you are stuck in business, if you need an up-level in your business generally, if there's gaps, you're not reaching the right people, or if your message doesn't resonate, yes. That's what I do. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Konnie.
You're very welcome.
Let's get in. Right, ready. Bye.
Bye. I think you have to take me out, or can I?
Fabulous. Sashka, you ready? Can't wait. Sashka is a fabulous woman. She's going to talk about brand leadership, visionaries, and how to create it. Yay! Come on, let's do the dance.
Hello!
Really interesting.
What?
I I knew you was going to do something really interesting when you come on.
Oh, cool.
Sashka is a trained actress, right?
I most certainly am.
I am very impressed.
But I
So
don't
Sashka, let me just introduce you very quickly with the little blurb I've got here. You're a branding and marketing strategist, entertainer, author, speaker, serving visionary underdog leaders in the lifestyle market who want to go from no name to brand leadership without selling their soul, but leading with it.
Yes.
Fabulous. So you're going to talk about your signature approach a little bit today, brand your soul and branding your soul marketing. And her methods are absolutely creative and wise, and you know, she's got amazing photography, and when she writes posts, it's just like, oh my God, I need to see what Sashka wrote today.
Really? Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, you're just thinking, you're very creative, you're just thinking out the box, and the way you're engaging with people. I think it is so busy on social media right now, out there, right? And we need to stand out somehow, and we don't want to stand out in a sleazy way or in a cheap way.
Correct.
We don't want to deploy those underdog strategies, right, that feel a bit icky.
Exactly.
But we want to deploy the underdog strategies that are making everyone feel fabulous and intrigued.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to go through much more because I'm going to let you talk about how fabulous you are, what you do, yeah?
Oh, bloody brilliant. So, hello, Ian, and hello, Alice, my darling. How are you? Alice East, I love that name.
Hello.
And how do I say your name? Saroj? Saroj?
Saroj is still here. Suzie is
Is
joined.
that how you say it?
Susie's going to be next.
Beautiful. Hello,
in
Suzie.
half an hour.
Hey, awesome. So everyone's here. Yes, so you gave the introduction. Super awesome. All about brand your soul using soul brand marketing. They're my signature programs. And my thing is, I've been in branding, marketing, consumer behaviorism for over 20 years. So 2 decades that I'm doing it.
And I gotta say, Sashka lives in Austria.
I do.
So we're home, you know, my home. We are, well, but you are half South African as well. You got the South African.
I'm full
accent.
South African. I'm full South African. I'm Austrian on paper.
So you're full, but you do live in Austria though. So your parents are both South African.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
My great-grandfather's from Lebanon. So I've got the Lebanese in me. So I've got all that passion and Mediterranean. Fabulously pronounced. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Saroj. Awesome. So, yes. So my 2 signature systems. And the whole thing is, after being 2 decades in branding, marketing, consumer behaviorism and psychology, all these things, is that I saw for me, this is what it saw for me, is that, and the personality of the underdog, is that we're always focusing as a business, as an entrepreneur, on the products and the services. Okay, hands up. How many branders, how many marketers, how many branding strategists, how many PR, how many designers, jewelry, how many do you know? How many photographers? Yeah. A gazillion. There are a gazillion professions out there in the world. And the only way you can stand out is if you bring your soul forward, because that's your personality, and it entails all. Jenni was talking about it, you know, the Trinity system, all your values, your core values, your essence, your personality. That's what comes forward. And what should be there is, when I'm not here in front of you, then I hope my fridge is clean. Then your brand, and your branding and your marketing should be the thing that's representing you without you actually being there. And in order to do that, you need to know who you are. You really need to know who you're serving, because if you don't know who you're serving, you're speaking to anybody and everybody, and then you'll end up speaking to nobody. You need to know what products and services. That is so important, because often you're like, I mean, I started off doing business plans. Like, that was my thing when I started off. Is it 9 years now? 2008, my brain stopped. So 9 years ago, I started my business. I was pregnant with my 3rd child. I was like in the last month. And I started my business. I was like, I'm going to write the most awesomest business plans. That's what I'm going to do. Business consulting. Spot on. And my business was called Flamebox Business Consulting. the creative business consulting. And everyone here was like, what a load of crock is that? Like, seriously? Like, how can you be creative in consulting? And I'm like, of course you can. And then I started building on top of that. And then it was branding. Well, it was business plans. I got bored of those because I was like, who the hell needs a business plan unless you're going to the bank? Because the bank tells you you can't do it. And I know that I can do it. So I'm like, screw that. I'm going to find my money somewhere else. I don't have to just go to the bank. That's not my only option. But those are things that I learned. And then after that, I was like, I like the whole holistic approach because that's what I'm good at. So I do the branding. So you got the graphic designers as a team, the Facebook ads, the online marketing, the events, the workshops, the whole shebang dangle. I was like, no, I don't want to focus on one thing. I can't. I'm multi-passionate. Yeah. I want to focus on everything. But the one thing I focus on is raising leaders and brand leadership and how to bring that forth without selling your soul, but leading with it.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, and you do that so well. I mean, just the stuff that I've seen, you know, is just amazing. But I would not dare, you know, I have to stick with my husband, you know. But I do get from time to time, I do get, you know, people give me some feedback and like, oh, maybe I'll do some tweaks. I'll just put this splash of color in now.
But that's a difficult situation because it's like, okay, how do I bring my soul forward? You know, when this person's over here. But for me, it's like, it was a big decision. Well, it was a big lesson that I learned very early on in life is I don't work with family. I just don't work with family because you get taken for a ride. Everything always has to be cheap. You can't really lose your marbles when you're actually getting really peeved off about something and everybody takes it personally. I do still do stuff with my mom and my sister every now and again. My mom transcribes for me, so if you need a transcriber, she's really good for my podcast.
You know, like the fact you've got like this, what have you got in your hand?
Oh,
it's like
this is hilarious.
You can show us something, because I'm thinking you're going to hit someone in a minute.
Thank you. Actually, it was my...
hit you over the head.
I put it on the side, Sabine. I put it on the side.
I got my tea today because I was so I'm a tea person in the afternoon, so I had my little flask today. So
no, I had a coffee and water, and before I got on, I actually choked on my coffee because someone made a comment. I was like, "Oh, that's so funny!" And then I choked, and I thought, "Oh, that's a great start." So what is that?
Now, I mean, going back to you know, who you, yeah, I mean, the work, I think, I mean, the process is, for me as well, was like, I really had to go deep inside me to actually think, you know, what is it that I really want to do? Who am I? And how would it come out in a brand as such? You know, and I had to brainstorm things like symbols and colors and movements and all that kind of stuff. I guess that's so where it all starts, isn't it? And if you don't know your message, then you don't know your customer avatar, then obviously you can't create all of that stuff.
Yeah. So I have my system, my brain to soul system. So that's also what I wrote my book about, is that I first start with your life purpose.
Your book. I'm gonna put a link to your book.
Awesome. So it's brandsashka.com sold out book. That's what it is. SOULD out book.
Don't worry. I've got it here.
No worries.
I've got it here.
I focus.
You got two things. You got a marketing course.
Yes.
Brand and marketing course.
A free one.
And the book.
And the book. Yes, correct. So I don't focus on the message first, because the only way you can find your message first and work, and I refer to them as a soul group, your soul clients, because there are like how many billions of people on the planet, and 1% of that is your soul group. So that's a lot of people. So you just one, you know, if you're one or a team, whatever, there's a lot of people that you're going to be making impact with and reaching them. And reaching them, it's like, oh, how am I going to reach them? That comes on an energetic level. So you're putting your vibrations out. But the only way you can put your vibration intention out is when you know, this is my personal experience, is when I know what my life purpose is. And it's really simple. Like it's not like I'm like testing you or putting these things out, because I really believe we have all the answers within us. We just never get asked the right questions, because we're always standing in our own way, where we're asking all the questions and they're not the right ones in order to lead us into our life purpose. And from there, Oh, bless you, Connie. And so from there, when you get your life purpose and you know from there as well who your soul group is, then you can create your message. Because then you know it's all aligned. And then it's creating the products and the services. And then when you're putting out your marketing and your campaigns, then it's all just flowing, because then you know exactly who you're speaking to. Because so many people, so many entrepreneurs are really, really scared to niche down, fishes in the niches, to really niche down, because they think they're going to miss out on a lot of people. But like I said, there's 1% of a billion people. There are a lot of people you got to reach. You just need to show up. And I have my saying, done is better than perfect. I had to think about my saying. Done is better than perfect. So you don't have to be perfect. You just have to get it out. Because once you put it out, then you realize, I don't like that sentence. And then you change that sentence. I don't like that picture. And then you change the picture. But at least it's out and you can market it and you stand behind it and you believe in it. But if it's all just here all the time, then it doesn't go anywhere.
And it's almost like you're tweaking so much and you're keeping it to yourself, and you're not getting the feedback either.
Yeah.
So I guess it's better to have it out there, and it's not perfect. Maybe 80-20. I always say 80-20 rule, right? Just go with it.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't matter if you get the feedback, you go back and tweak, because we've seen Jenni and Konnie are now both up leveling. See, they're tweaking their messages and their offerings, but they've been in business for a long time, and it doesn't matter, because it's a continuous journey. Because if we just stay stuck in there, then how we know that we're not going to grow anymore, then are we?
Yeah.
Unless you're already making millions and it's like, okay, don't touch it because it works.
Well, no.
The money just comes in and the clients are just coming in.
No, I don't believe that, because I also believe
not even then. You would still continue, right?
Yeah, because we all have our different phases, and each of our soul groups have different phases. And so for my phase, there's 4 different phases, and you're always going up leveling. Like right in the beginning, it's just the starting ideas and you're really excited. And it's like, oh my God, I got my own business. It's like the easiest part ever. And I call that the toddler phase, because it's like, oh, I can have my temper tantrum. Nobody knows that I'm here. I don't, and then you hit childhood, and childhood is like, oh my God, woe is me. And then you start learning stuff about yourself, and then you're like a teenager, and it's like screwing your mind, and then it's mindset, and you don't know who you are. And then you start realizing, hang on a moment, that dream I had like eons ago, that's really rising up, like really strong within me at the moment. And I really want to make that happen, but you're too shit scared. So there's all that mindset stuff to work through. And then to go from the childhood to the adolescent. And that's then when the brand leadership comes. And like Konnie mentioned something, once you reach your soul group, within there are your soul clients, and then everybody leads with you. Konnie was in Amsterdam at the Project Positive Change at the event there. And I was talking about brand leadership and how to be a leader with a brand, the people that follow you, they see a key within you that they believe they don't have within themselves. So just by you showing them that they actually have the key, in the process, they're learning so much more about all the stuff that you're teaching, that when they go off, because that's what a leader does. A leader always makes you better than who I am as a leader. So I send you off, and there you go. And then you go and start, all your soul group are following you, and then it expands. It's like this ripple effect that goes out. And that's the exciting thing about when you follow your soul and not going, this is my product and my service. Then, keeping yourself back and thinking, this is all I am. I can only design jewelry, or I can only DJ. Then that's all you think that you can. But when you believe I can go bigger and better and expand, and the vision can really happen, that's where the shit also hits the fan, because then your mindset comes in and goes, you can't do it, you're not good enough, no way. And then you got to fight, and you're like, yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. And then you
your ego.
Exactly. Hey, Ziggy.
Oh, that's why you had the thing. Just give it a good bash. Come on. Where's your poster? That's it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so that's good from there. So are there any comments? Hey, Ziggy went, I went to school with Ziggy when I was in South Africa, and it's so cool. Because yeah, she's a psychologist, and it's nice over Facebook. You keep in contact with all these wonderful people. So, what comments were there?
I can't see. I can't see.
Carola.
It doesn't show me who's watching. I just see the comments. So
okay.
apologies.
So Corola's also here. Hello, Corolla. How are you? Alice, your message is so needed and timely right now. So inspiring. Thank you, Alice. Alice is in real estate. Really, really inspiring. She does it beautifully from the soul as well. Suraj, love your ideas of branding your soul without selling yourself. Yeah, you know, you don't have to be blood, sweat, and tears. All that hustle and grind, it's all in the do. All the masculine energy, we kind of come a little bit in the feminine and make a balance out of it. Konnie.
And we've got to do a bit of a dance, right? Let's do a dance.
Oh, cool. Hey, you also watching?
That's a thing.
Says Sabine is watching. We're doing a dance. What dance are we doing?
Checking. I can't even see it on my laptop who's watching. I just see the number of people.
Ah, cool, man.
Which is strange.
And
well, great.
So when you're doing your brand leadership, and even when I'm doing dancing, because I did that in Amsterdam. Hey, Konnie, we did a bit of a dance. What did we dance to? Oh, Havana. We were doing dancing to Havana. That's right. Yeah, and then going from no name to brand leadership. You mentioned it as well. I have a free branding and marketing course that you can sign up for. Also, a sample of the book. If you're interested in getting a sample of the book, there's also a sample there. And I'm running a live masterclass on finding your message, honing in on your message, starting in May. And then a leadership workshop in June. Very exciting.
Oh, wow. These are some of the, these are live events, right?
Yes, yes. So the masterclass is online. That's a live masterclass for over 5 days. And the brand leadership weekend workshop, that's here in the Alps. In the Alps.
Wonderful.
Did you sign up, Konnie? Oh my God, that's so exciting. I have to go check.
You didn't know?
Well, I'm going to confess, I've been on my laptop for a while because the weather is so gorgeous that I'm outside and then I take my laptop.
It's your boundaries, isn't it? You got to switch it off for a bit.
Yes, and some of the emails don't come to the laptop. So then I have to go check my desktop. Where are the links, please? Yes. So Sabina's got the links for
right here.
Yeah, Sabina's got a brand session.
Right here, Sashka's free marketing course is just there. And if you probably scroll down or up wherever you are, there is sold out. The sold.
Exactly.
Sold out.
You're
kind of finding your.
Got the sold out workshop. Oh, brilliant, Konnie. You're doing the masterclass. Frickin' A. And then we get you over to the brand leadership workshop. We're working on that one. Bloody awesome.
So yes, so I've got the book here.
And it's a very simple book.
Amazing.
Oh, cheers.
I love the images. The images are just out of this world.
Oh, thank you. And it comes with a free workbook. So when you send me your proof of purchase, then I send you the workbook. It's 50 pages. So the book tells you the story and it's very easy to read. I mean, you can read it in an hour and I printed it in big print. So it's very easy to so you look very intelligent because you're reading very fast. And then the workbook is for you to then work through. It's an editable PDF. So yeah, and then it helps you pinpoint those touch points of your life purpose, but you really got to chew on it and refine it. And in the masterclass, we're going to be working on it some more. And I'm going to be in there as well so we can really hone in on it.
And who would you say is this good for? Anyone who's just starting a business or already is in business, up leveling?
The message one, the masterclass?
The sold out book.
The book.
Yeah, or both, I guess.
Well, if you're stuck, so I spoke about the toddler, the childhood, and then there's adolescent and then there's adult. So in that toddler phase, when you're really just starting off, you can read the book, but I always say when you're ready to hear a message, then you'll hear it. Whereas if you have the book in that phase, there's too much happening on there, so much noise happening. Whereas in childhood, you kind of gone down down a few rabbit holes and shiny syndrome, shopping spree, and you just kind of, I've had enough. I'm tired of dating my business. I need to now marry it and make a commitment. And it's in that phase because now it's like, I need to know what the hell I'm doing and who I'm serving, what I'm going to be selling, and in which markets I'm going to be selling. and like creating your signature programs, because the more impact you want to make, the more up leveling, and everything's going to move with it. So I would say more in that phase is where the book is really good. When you're in that iffy stage, I don't know if this is really my message, or nobody's listening to me, nobody sees me, I don't understand it. Why is nobody looking at me here on social media or even offline? You know, why am I not standing out? Starting with that and then moving from there, and then it moves out into all the different marketing channels.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, thanks,
that sounds amazing. Yeah. I'm just thinking, I wish I had this book like back then, you know, because I did struggle even with my husband. I mean, he was quite good. He was asking me lots of questions, and I had to revise, and I've got all these notes, and I said, look, I'm going to keep all these notes because I could really see how I was sort of up leveling at each stage, and then there was something new that formed, and then something else that you know, the extension to that and all that. So absolutely, I would I'd go for the book. Definitely.
I have to say that the book is also, when I speak about your life purpose, it's got nothing to do with your vocation, nothing to do with your talents, nothing to do with your gifts. And I'll give an example. You could be 6 or 96. So for me, when I worked on my like whole thing, when I was going through my whole thing, and I've fine-tuned everything, really honed it in really well, is that when I work with visionary underdog leaders, this is not just a business owner or an entrepreneur. I look at my 3 kids, and I do have 3 leaders, and they feel like underdogs, and they are all 3 visionaries. So when I work with them, because life and business is all intertwined, they're not separate entities. When I work with them, I can see how this really applies as well in business. So when I found my life purpose, it wasn't all just business. It's also within your life purpose. And then it just extended into, hello, Christian. Then it all just extended into my branding, my marketing, and the campaigns and everything. Yeah.
So Roger is asking, I've just rebranded. Should I go through it again?
Who's asking? Hang on a moment. I've just rebranded. Should I go through it again? Go through what again? The book? The course? I don't know. Let me know. It's the Raj. What did you? I signed up. So you signed up to the branding course. So you've done it before? I don't know. I'm lost. You must inform me. I don't understand the question. You must tell me. Alice. What's Alice?
Well, I guess it's I guess if someone's already done a lot of work on their brand, you know, whether they should take some more, you know, master classes or read the book. But I guess you just said that the book doesn't just talk about you know, the branding or the business side of things. It touches all areas in life as well.
So I'm pretty confident on this, and this is what I believe, is that when you brand your soul, there's no need to change the message. The products evolve, but you know where you're going with the products. And the products, in terms of, I'm not just standing here going, oh, I do branding and marketing. I'm talking to you about first creating your brand from the inside out. And it's not a branding logo or whatever. That I'm not putting that in the foreground. That's next to me. Those are my byproducts. So when you're not sure, when you're putting all of that in the foreground, I would then say, learn how to put it next to you, accompanying you, so that you're in the foreground. Whether you have products, merchandising, or cups or mugs or whatever, because people buy from people. Also, when you're in the rebranding, I honestly believe that fonts change. Your core colors don't. They're always there. And what I love about graphic designers and illustrators, and I respect them highly, is that they know which one is the core color and which ones are the sub colors, the sub primary colors, whatever, the primary colors and the sub colors. Often what we do is we like all these colors, and then we just put them all into one thing. And then it's like, it's too much, I just can't deal with it. And so a good graphic designer and illustrator, when they know what your soul is, then they're able to reflect it in your branding. So if you've rebranded, but you kind of feel like it's not 100%, then that message of who you are from the inside out hasn't fully been exposed yet. That's just my opinion. So if you're not feeling comfortable, then I would suggest rethinking.
It seems Raj feels comfortable, and She's, yeah. And Angela's watching as well. Hi there.
Hey, Angel.
See, I mean, I made it really, really simple for my husband, right? I just said, look at this wallpaper and make up my brand. These are the colors. But then at some point, we actually went to go and choose the wallpaper, and I had, you know, stacks of books, and I was probably looking at thousands of patterns, and that came out that I wanted this wallpaper, and I said, I like it.
I love it. Yeah, see, the whole style and putting it then together and all the customized visuals and everything. I love the whole, I love magazines. I've always loved magazines since I was a kid. So I love that effect that when you look at something, it's boom, like it's right, it's emotional branding. And then it works with you, you know, because it makes you think. I love challenging the status quo. So that comes into the foreground. So it's not just, there's a lot of impact stamp things that happen over there. And my logo isn't in the foreground, but you know, like the visuals and stuff like that, that's Sashka. That crazy woman, that's her stuff.
Oh yeah, that's
exactly.
So amazing, Sashka. We need to draw to a close.
Yes, yes.
I think Susie's going to be on next. Suzie, if you're there, just say a quick hello, and we can invite you in. But amazing. I mean, I'm gonna get the book, regardless, because I think there's always things that we can learn and pick up from, get some inspiration. And you know what? I tell you what, Sashka, what's your group? Because people need to come into your group, because the lives and I think you have podcasts on your website as well. Yes. I actually was listening to one of these podcasts. It was called "What's the Purpose of Life?"
What's
Something
your life
like
purpose?
that. Yeah. And it was a podcast, and it was just so soothing. It made so much sense. I really enjoyed that. So definitely join Sashka, and she's got amazing value to give.
Thank you, Sabine.
So the title of the book, Savage, I did put the link in. I can do that again. It's called Soul, like your soul, sold out.
Yeah, sold.
And there's a workbook, the workbook to finding your life purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that coincides with the podcast that I was listening into. So I'm just going to put the link.
Is, the No Name Brand podcast. So it's on Spotify, iTunes, and SoundCloud. I'll put the links in afterwards, Sabina. I'll go in and put the links. And if you have questions, then you must just tag me, and then I can answer the questions in.
Definitely. So I'm just going to put the link in once more, in case it got kind of lost through all the comments.
Cool. Yeah, the book I sent you is for the sample, but I'll put the link in there for the book.
Oh, right. So so this is the sample. People cannot get through the whole book, the real book?
Yes, they can. You just come into my gorgeous funnel, my sales funnel, where you come into my email, and then we can talk on email, you know? A very clever speaker.
Yeah. Like the text, yeah, exactly. Then we're not going to talk in person anymore. We're just going to communicate through email, and you're right in the funnel. You're not going to ever get out again.
No, you always get out. You can always unsubscribe. It's fine. Cool.
No, that was just a joke, you know.
Yeah.
That was a joke, of course. So, yes, Savage said, love your energy. Yeah, we do love your energy, Sashka. Thank you so much. Suzie, hopefully you're there. I'm just checking. I have a couple of
She is, and she's freaking amazing. Suzie is amazing.
Suzie is amazing too. Yes. Naomi is coming up on after Suzie. Naomi is a mountain climber.
Oh, cool.
She's got amazing stories. I just hope she can make it, because now she's saying that she's having technical difficulties.
We'll sort her out. We'll sort out.
We will sort her until then. Maybe.
Where's Sabina gone? Oh, there you are. Okay, cool.
Maybe you can help Naomi, because she's in the group chat.
Yes, I will.
Maybe you can help us.
And you handle. So, see you guys later, babe. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Love
so you.
Bye.
Me.
Okay, bye. I don't know how to get out. Oh yeah. Hang on. Bye.
So Susie's here. Yes, Suzie. Let me just introduce our next guest. So it seems Sashka is kind of stuck on the screen, still on my screen. Let me see if it's something that's still on the on the live. It's okay. So I'm just looking on my laptop. It seems she's gone, but on my phone screen, Sashka is still stuck. So let's see if we can get Suzie in now. Suzie Parkus is going to talk about what is PR, and she's a PR. You are a PR guru. I would say you're an expert. I said, Suzie, what's your website? Have you got proof around what you're doing, and have you had publications? And there I go on her website, and there was like 15 logos of magazines, and lots of big names there, and she knows what she's doing, because she's been in business for many years. She's built 5 different businesses, right, from PR. And I said, look, I think it would be really exciting if you could actually bring us closer to the PR journey, public relations, right? For those who don't know what PR is, and how can we as small business owners actually use PR, because it just sounds to me like, oh my gosh, how can I approach this subject? So Suzie, big welcome to my show. So if you can say a few words about yourself, and then we'll start with the questions.
Okay, so maybe it would help if I tell people how I got into this in the first place. Yeah. So having been in business for quite a number of years, the reason why I got so well known is, as Sabine said, through PR. But PR isn't just getting in the media. It's a whole journey of getting PR ready so that you can get seen, heard and noticed, and there is a whole sort of process that you go through to make that happen. And I've never enlisted a PR agency before. Sorry, I can see all the notifications going crazy. I've never enlisted a PR I've never used a PR or marketing agency before, and I've basically learnt the ropes myself over the past 17 years, and all that's put me in good stead, so that, in the last 2.5 to 3 years, I have been in all the local, national and international press for what I do. And as a result, I now also recruit for the media as well. So I get contacted by producers, journalists and researchers asking me for people for stories that they're running or planning to run. So it's now led on to me being a bit of a matchmaker for the media industry as well.
Oh, that's amazing. And you know what? And from what I understand, PR is actually a free way to become visible on a massive scale. And that's like more, even more than doing a Facebook Live or running Facebook ads. It's literally, things can happen overnight, right?
Yeah, so obviously you can have a really big reach through social media. It depends if you've got lots of people who are engaged with you as well and where they're based. But depending on the kind of PR that you use, then of course you can get known very, very well, whether it's locally, nationally or internationally. And I've gone, for all 3.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And, like, for example, I can see all the notifications going crazy. So I can see, I've got people joining us from all around the world.
You know what it is? It's Naomi is going to be next. And so they're trying to sort out how she can get on the app, because I'm going to invite her on Facebook. So hopefully she can just come on live and, like you did, say hello, and then I invited you. So it just takes a little bit of getting used to, and it's the same thing as well, right? Stepping out of your comfort zone. And it's the same thing with PR, being able to step out of your comfort zone and say, well, yeah, I want to do something like this. How do I get ready? What do I need to have? What asset do I need to have? Or what kind of person do I need to be? A special person to be considered?
Well, I was going to say, just, before I get to that point, so when I said I can see all the notifications going crazy, you were saying about PR giving you an excessive reach. Well, I'm looking at who's joining, because I posted that, I'm going to be on at 2:30 today. And we've got people joining us from all around the world. So, basically don't discount the fact that using social media can give you that international reach. And there are, so we've got someone from Ireland, there are ways that you can get speaking opportunities and media opportunities just from posting on social media. So I know somebody who shared her personal story. I won't say who it is, but she was talking herself down from suicide, and basically it hit the press. And now she's become really well known for helping to support people through their struggles, but also helping people to share their message as well. So, you know, I wouldn't discount social media in its entirety, but
no, I think social media is definitely a great tool, you know. But what I'm saying is, I guess with PR, it can be overnight, because obviously when you have a publication and then there's lots of people sort of reading it like on the spot, right? Whereas with social media, when you start from scratch, it takes quite a while to build up an audience. And, you know, even if you do Facebook ads, it takes a while for Facebook to learn, you know, what were the people who are going to click on your ads, and the pixels picking it all up, and right. So that's what I meant when I said it can be very, very quick and quite high impact.
So, okay, so if you compare the two, for example, like what we're doing today, you're leveraging my reach and I'm leveraging yours. So that can build you, you know, an overnight audience. And I've done takeovers in groups as well. So there are things that you can do. And these are things that I teach people in my course that can get you elevated quite quickly. Now, when I got featured for the first time in a big piece of press, which is the Daily Mail, so that took me 2 weeks to get. And people were pinging me to say they saw me in the newspaper before I saw myself. And obviously the Daily Mail goes to America as well. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of Americans who read the English press. And so then when I was on a radio show, because I had a regular spot on a radio show, we had people calling in who'd actually heard about me through the Daily Mail because they'd read it in the States. So, you know, PR as an entirety is this whole big bubble. And I do say to people that it's like an umbrella term for all the stepping stones that you've got to cross in order to get, you know, globally known by people for what it is that you do, or your products or your services.
Yes, that's amazing. Let's have a look. I've got a few comments. So Konnie is, I'm in love with O magazine.
Yeah, that's Oprah.
Okay. And Sashka saying magazines, yes, my favorite, and the only one I buy now is Flow Magazine International.
There's a lot of people also that want to get into Thrive Global, which obviously is Ariana Huffington. So the other thing I was going to say is that you need to pick the media, by the way, that you choose to go after very, very wisely. And also the journalists as well, because there's niche media. So for whatever it is that you do, you want to choose the right kind of media so that you get seen, heard and noticed by the right audience. Otherwise it's going to fall on deaf ears and it's going to be sort of a wasted bit of PR, if you like.
Yes. And Deborah is there saying Facebook Lives sharing audiences are so much better than Facebook ads. Agree.
Yeah, there's lots of ways that you can beat the system, because obviously with GDPR coming in now, lots of people are freaking out about social media advertising and saying, you know, you're not going to get such a big reach. But there's actually something that I'm doing in the background, which is going to help raise people's visibility anyway. I'm actually building a group that will elevate people's visibility through social media, because not everyone's got the budget for social media advertising as well. And you are competing against so many other people.
Yeah, that's true, and I guess it's coming back to the message again, isn't it? And to, you know, having that soul brand and being in the places where your ideal audience is as well. Yeah. And then coming back to the PR piece, I mean, you said pick the right sort of the right sort of outlet, I guess, media outlet. Is there any place you can research that, or is that something that you would work with your clients on if they come to you? How do you actually get started?
Okay, so
how do you know this is your outlet? Like, should I go to O Magazine or Huffington Post? I mean, what are the steps here?
Well, I would say to you, things like O Magazine, Forbes, Entrepreneur, things like that, those are sort of the prestigious outlets that people want to go for. And I would cherry pick those and not go straight for those ones. I would build up to the really big publications, because the journalists basically like to see that you've had a presence in the media already. And once you can prove and demonstrate that, getting a foot in the door is much easier. So when it comes to choosing the publications, you can actually find a list of every publication out there, both locally, nationally and internationally. But before you even do that, you need to think about your big why. So why am I doing this? And people do talk about the why that makes you cry, but you have to be really, really connected to whatever it is that you're, wanting to share with the world, whether it's, a message, product or service. And then you need to say, who is my ideal audience, like Sashka was saying before. So for example, if you look at the Daily Mail, that's kind of women who are 40 to 55, that's roughly their demographic, and they have a certain spending power and so on. So you need to first step back to, what's my why, what's my message, who do I want to reach with whatever it is that I'm doing, and then you look at the demographic per outlet, and that's the way to do it. So you don't just go throwing spaghetti at the wall, basically saying, and I'm going to contact, I don't know, Red or Grazia, and I'll just go to whoever will take me. Because then there's another thing to consider as well, which is there is a level of competitiveness between various magazines. So for example, I did a catwalk photo shoot for Women magazine, and I was talking to what's she called now, Phoenix. They're a different, sorry, I can't even think what the term is. But they're a group of journalists who will do placements for you. And basically, when we were talking about the different magazines, she was just explaining to me that Bella magazine, for example. So sorry, for those of you that are abroad, I'm just listing the UK publications just now. So Bella and Woman magazine are rivals. So because I've been in Woman, I'd never be able to get in Bella. To be fair, I never want to be in Bella magazine anyway. But the point is, they're rivals. So I've kind of now closed the door for myself if I ever wanted to get into Bella, because they will research me and see I've been in Woman, which is one of their competitors. Now, the other thing is, I've been in the Daily Mail quite a few times, and there is a cooling off period to consider as well. So some publications won't let you come back again for 3, 6 or potentially 12 months because they don't want it to look like they are favouring you or it's a continuation of a story. So there's quite a lot to consider. So when I work with people, we do go through this whole journey, and that's why, I do refer to it as a PR journey, and getting PR ready is just one of those things, because you need to take all these things into consideration. Because let's just say you wanted to go into Forbes magazine and Forbes magazine took you today, but then you wanted Entrepreneur magazine because you're launching something amazing in 6 weeks. They probably won't take you. So you could be, kind of knocking yourself out because you took a premature opportunity and you didn't think about all the timelines, the timings around things.
Right. And you wouldn't know about these things, I guess. Who is...
No, I've had to learn everything myself.
Yeah.
So as I said, I have never worked with a PR person, and if it's okay, I'll share why. So all my business for the last 17 years has pretty much been word of mouth. And then I decided that I didn't want to be a well-kept secret anymore, and I started connecting with journalists just out and about at events and so on. And I just said to them, how does it work? And they said it's going to be something between £2,000 to £6,000 a month, and it's going to take 3 to 6 months to get any kind of traction, so any kind of editorial, if you're lucky. So I was just like, well, let me just go in my back garden and shake the money tree, like nobody's going to make that kind of investment, which is a gamble as well. So I set about doing it myself, and obviously it's a whole long story which I can't go into now because we'll end up taking more than half an hour. But through trial and error, and there were some errors, that's how I've come to understand all these bits of the puzzle in order to get the success that I have. And now obviously I'm at a place where when people go Googling for people in my niche, I come up and I get requested for the media rather than being proactive about it. So, you do have to invest the time to be proactive in order for people to get to know who you are. And then what happens is you kind of go around this curve and you kind of go over the hill, and then people start to know who you are. And then they start reaching out for you. Brands will reach out for you as well. It's amazing who can find you and who will want to be aligned with you.
And I guess, as you just said, you're forever in there. You're forever in the search engine. I guess if someone Googles you, it's just there. Whereas I guess because we were talking about Facebook before, things get lost in Facebook, right?
They do, but people do reshare things as well, but you're relying on people liking, commenting and resharing. I mean, I've got a video that I did May last year that sometimes resurfaces, because when somebody comes to like it again, then it pops up and other people see it. But, you know, if someone's looking for a particular search on Google, let's say, I don't know, whatever it might be, then that's when an article will come up, or a guest blog, or a video, and the opportunities of reach is far higher.
Exactly. I'm just going through some of the comments quickly. So Sashka says, great question, Connie, about having business basics in place. I'm just checking, maybe that was an older one.
Well, I'm happy to talk about that, because obviously I know what Sashka does, and and she knows what I do as well. And part of getting PR ready is making sure that all your assets are in place, and your assets are a whole culmination of things, and that does include having your website and branding. Yeah.
Yeah, it was about brand. If so Connie is asking, am I right that you need to have your branding and business basics in place before getting PR ready?
So being PR ready is having these sort of minimum requirements in place for your assets. So it would be having your website in place, and one that isn't a free WordPress site, for example, because it doesn't look very good for your branding, and having some good pictures and a good bio, and contact details are there. Just, it shouldn't be too difficult to understand who you are, what you do, and how to get hold of you. And if you've got anything out there that proves that you've done speaking, media, testimonials, put as much as you can. The only thing you don't want to have is a sales machine for a website, because if a journalist, a researcher or a producer goes on your website and it looks like a sales machine, they're not going to be that interested in you. And that was some feedback I had from a journalist a while ago, that, you know, in terms of things that they're looking for and not looking for on a website.
So when you say sales machine, like that, you've got banners and things flashing all over the place, but you can have like maybe a little opt-in, because that's, I guess, you want to harness
opt-in is fine. Yeah, so opt-in is fine. That's just data capture. But if you, let's say SuzieParkus.com, which is my website, was a full-on shop, let's say, you know, and it was basically buy my product here, there and everywhere, then I'm a sales machine, and there's nothing about me, I'm not adding value. You know, one of the things that the media are looking for is, are you adding value? So when they do a story about you, they want you to be able to share something that's new and exciting. They want you to share actionable tips or advice. That's really what they're looking for. And it has to be relevant to their audience, because you're leveraging their brand basically and their power. So whatever it is you're sharing has got to be of benefit to their readers or their listeners.
And so how do you come up with PR-worthy stories?
I don't know, this just goes crazy. So in terms of me, when I'm helping people, it comes back to what's your why. So who are you, what do you do, who are you serving, what's your USP, so, you know, your unique selling point. And then from there we can say, well, what have you achieved? What are the things that you've helped people with? Let's look at your testimonials, and you can build stories from there. So my first big story with the Daily Mail, even though that wasn't my first bit of press, in fact, my first bit of press was back in 2009, was Modern Day Hitch helps thousands of singles to find love and happiness. And, you know, we were just messing around. So I was working with a press agency, and we were just talking it out, and I was basically saying, you know, lots of people call me Hitch and lots of people call me the millionaire matchmaker, and to be honest, I'm neither, because millionaire matchmaker is this, you know, crazy woman who, you know, isn't very nice to people, and she's trying to change people to find a suitor, and that's not what I do. So for those of you that don't know, I'm quite well known dating and relationship coach, and that's what I was doing before. And then I said to people, you know, I said to her that people call me Hitch, but Hitch is also about manipulating people in a way so that they can become a good fit, and that's not what I'm about. So then we took those two things, and the woman said modern day hitch. Then why am I modern? Because I try to bring out the best of people so they can find love and happiness. So together we came up with the title.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of playing around, basically.
We were just discussing it half an hour ago. We're like, we need a relationship coach in here, because one of the questions was about whether we'll have to do that some other time.
Yeah.
There was a question, and I was like, okay, should have asked you.
It's really funny. So with the dating and relationship stuff that I did before, I'm really big into relationship marketing, and that's also part of PR. You know, little things like when you reach out to people on Facebook to do a friend request, how many people do a blank friend request and don't even say, for example, hi Sabine, I saw you do a live yesterday with Sashka, it was amazing, want to know more about what you do, would really love it if we could be connected. End of. Rather than just a friend request and then you've got to play detective and go, who's this person, where did they come from? That to me is the starting point for PR, the first time people get to connect with you. So whether it's visually, verbally, or audibly, you know, however it is, that's the starting point for your PR journey with somebody. And that also comes under relationship marketing. So all my dating and relationship stuff that I've done in the past really comes into play with the branding stuff that I do with people, with the PR, because obviously Sashka does a lot of the visual stuff, for example, but people buy people. And you have to have everything sort of sorted in your mind, body and spirit as well, because, you know, just like dating, people pick up your vibe and your vibe attracts your tribe. And if something is a little bit off in sort of what you're saying and what you're doing, the PR thing isn't going to work for you, because by starting sort of this PR journey, you are opening yourself up to the public and being judged and watched in every way. So you're being live at every opportunity, and people will notice when something is awry. And this all comes back down to the PR ready stuff that we do to make sure all your ducks are in a row before you start throwing yourself out there into the public.
Because I'm now thinking there's some sort of self-worth and some mindset stuff coming up now, where I'm thinking, oh yeah, people are going to judge me. Ooh. And that's what you do.
Have confidence.
Do, right?
And you know, I can't remember all the ladies that you've been interviewing over the last, you know, week, but having that business mindset is also really important, because you need to be confident in what you do and what you're promoting and the results that you get, because if at any point you waver, you're going to come under scrutiny. And yeah, so your mindset's got to be in order as well.
Yeah. Wow, amazing. Let me just see if there was any other questions. And oh, it's like 5 to 3. It's crazy that time flies when you have fun.
I thought it was going to go so quickly.
Oh wow. So let me just see the live comments quickly. So Deborah is on fire. Or maybe we are on fire, but
we're on fire.
So thank you so much for all your likes and your hearts. I know that, you know, I think Angel's finger is now sore. I see lots of Angel there. Well said, she said. Great connections. Deborah, PR is every touch point. Yes. Connie, important, like with everything, are you adding value? Have value on your website. It's a no-brainer, right? Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess for us it was kind of hopefully it's a no-brainer. But yeah, there are some people out there who truly just have sales machines and links and banners everywhere, and you know, you want to be seen as a professional and an expert in your area, and you want to be seen as someone who's respected and giving value. And I heard as well that you need a certain amount of blog posts perhaps on your website as well. Is that true? I just heard that from someone else.
I'm trying to think. I hadn't even started my blog actually when I got in the Daily Mail, so no, it's not true. But blogging is really, really good to get interest in yourself. So I can tell you that I had a marketing agency contact me because they'd done some sort of a search on Google, and it was a shoe company. And there was something connected to shoes and dating, and I can't remember whatever their angle was. And they said, we found your blog post by doing a search on Google. Our client's really interested in you. We'd like to see about working with you. So this is the other thing. I mean, I've been contacted by Universal Studios, Motorola, this shoe company. I got contacted by Celebs Go Dating. And all because of the variety of PR that I have been putting out there and all the things that I've been getting involved with. I mean, that's just a really short list. I did SCS as well, which is a furniture company. What that has to do with dating, you know, you couldn't connect the two, but it was to do with them selling dining tables and obviously dining etiquette and dating. So, you know, by being out there, people will pick you up for so many different reasons, whether it's to do another story on a topic that you've just shared because they now want to feature it in their publication, or maybe you shared something really awesome and then a brand has come across you and they're like, oh, we really, really like you and we want you to be a brand ambassador for us, or we want you to share tips and advice because as a brand we're putting out some marketing content. I think I did Iceland holidays. I honestly, I've done so much in the last 3 years, and it's not from being proactive. So there is a big difference between proactive and reactive PR. And, you know, a lot of the stuff that I'm sharing today is all covered in my course because it is a really big monster to get a handle on. But once you've got a handle on it, honestly, it just feeds itself. To me, PR is like the marketing machine that just keeps on giving, basically.
So your course, where can we find your course? Is it on your website? So
yes, so if you go onto SuzieParkus.com and under services, there is a PR course. And on there, there's also the toolkit as well. But the toolkit goes hand in glove with the course because there are things called awareness days. So throughout the year, there are key times to share your knowledge. And that toolkit has over 1,000 awareness days and a media planner so that you can plan 3 months in advance for each awareness day.
So let me just
and I should mention while you're doing that, with these awareness days, magazines might work 4 to 6 months in advance, whereas TV is 1 to 4 weeks. So again, you need to understand if you're going to be applying for certain things, the time frames in which people operate, and that is different for each medium and each publication.
So I'm under services.
There's a drop down and it says course.
Sorry?
So there's a drop down under services and then there's the course. And if you click it, it takes you to another link to the landing page where you can find the course. But I can, when we come off the live, I can pop it in afterwards. It's fine.
Yeah,
I will say
the toolkit. I can see the toolkit there.
It's a 30-day PR course.
DIY PR?
That's the one.
Okay.
I think it keeps changing its name because like everything, website is a work in progress.
So there's a variety of things here, fabulous things here like tools as well, and there's the DIY PR course.
Sabine, there's something else if you want as well. When I did a summit a few weeks ago, so if you go to SuzieParkus.com/freebie, I did a takeover in a group on Facebook, and there's 6 free videos that equate to about 12 minutes. And it gives you an overview as to what PR is all about and the things that you can implement into your business right away.
That'd be amazing. Freebie.
Yeah, SuzieParkus.com/freebie.
Okay. Maybe you can play the link. It's not come up. It says your connection is not private.
Okay, fine.
So yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much, Suzie. It's been amazing. It's just you know, so much wisdom and so many amazing things that you've done. And I guess we could just talk for hours because you've got so many stories. And of course, I'd like to know more why you were contacted by Universal Studios, for example. But maybe there's always enough time, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you know, this is why I'm doing a 90-day workshop, but done with UPR, because there is quite a lot to learn, and there's no way that we could cover it all in, you know, 30 minutes.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. So post the link, and if we have missed any other questions, then we'll go back and make sure we answer that as well. All right. Thank you so much. I'm gonna bring in Naomi, who's the last slot, the last not but least. Naomi's gonna talk about amazing. She's got also amazing stories to tell. She's very.
Do you want me to click myself out?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so
Bye,
much.
guys.
Lots of love. Bye.
Bye.
So there goes Suzie. If you have missed the beginning, if you're just joining us now, then very big welcome. This is I started about good 2.5 hours ago or so. So if you're interested to see any of the other ladies talking about the different subjects, like we had soul branding, we had Jenni coming on. He was talking about Trinity model where it's all about searching your soul and bringing together what who you really are as a person, and where your I guess where your magic is. And then we talked about with Konnie as well. She was talking about organization and productivity in your life. So she is the lady who helps you being really productive and helping you to organize your life as well. And then we had Sashka on. She was talking about again, we're talking about branding, but in a different way, in terms of being aligned again and bringing that out as your brand in your business and with your messaging as well. And now just Suzie was talking about her PR journey, how she actually reached amazing visibility in many, many different publications. And in the beginning, I was actually talking about a little bit about my own business, which is Reach for Greatness, and how Reach for Greatness has come all about. This is the second episode of Reach for Greatness TV, and it came about because I'm actually host and founder of Reach for Greatness and Reach for Greatness TV, and also Fast Track Your Business Launcher. And I'm the go-to woman if you want to launch and grow your business and achieve a sustainable income without the overwhelm, without detour, and without the guesswork. And this is really how I help people strive and grow in their business. So we are expecting Naomi. Naomi, I know you're watching. I hope you have sorted the technology, and thank you, Sashka, for helping Naomi. Naomi, if you can just say hi one more time, and then I will see you. Your comment, I can add you straight away to the screen, and I can introduce you then as well. So, and really I've created this platform for those women who may be fed up with the 9 to 5, who want to work flexibly around children, and they're feeling like, they start a business or want to start a business, but they're feeling really overwhelmed and stuck and may not know what are the next steps, how can I make everything fit together and flow as well. So if you would like to come on a call with me, we can have a conversation, have a look at your business, and I'm happy to look at anything that you've got there and see where the gaps are. And this is where I'm quite good to actually look from the outside onto business and help with any strategy and the next steps and crafting offers, doing sales funnels and all these kind of good stuff. So hello, Naomi, fabulous. And I'm going to also drop my link again for if you would like to book a call with me. There is a link to my diary as well, so feel free to get in contact, or if you've got any questions from this live as well, feel free. So Reach for Greatness is me. You can schedule a call with me as well, so very welcome. So Naomi, we're gonna bring Naomi in right now. Naomi is going to talk about Rally Your Resilience. She is an adventure mountain climber and inspirational speaker. Naomi Carmona Moorehead is passionate about inspiring midlife professionals to achieve the profound dream, selling women who rock. And Naomi rocks the stage as well. I've seen some of her videos as well, with empowering stories that reawaken dreams of superheroes and satisfied souls, so that every aspect of life is energized to climb the greater heights. And that is just fitting so nicely with the Reach for Greatness theme, because my brand is all around mountains, because I come from Austria originally, and I've got this connection with nature and climbing mountains. And for me, business, being in business is all about a journey. It's making tiny shifts. It's not like we'll have that business of our dreams overnight. You know, it's hard to achieve, I guess. It is something that we continuously are working on, and for me, the journey and going on a hike on the mountain really signifies that. And I guess, you know, once you get higher and higher up, you can actually look at the views, and it's like, wow, it's amazing. Look how much I've actually achieved, rather than looking up the mountain thinking, whoa, there's so much. I have to walk so much more. I'm still not at the summit. So it's about looking at, wow, look at what I have achieved, what's behind me. I can already see half of the valley, for example. So let me just see. It's trying to connect, Naomi. I'm not sure why you're not showing on your screen yet, on the screen yet. Angel was saying something as well. Step by step, yes, step by step. And that's, so the audio is down, audio is up again. Angel, thank you so much for helping out. Angel is the Facebook Live rock star. She teaches Facebook Live, and she's been so instrumental helping me getting all the tech stuff together for this as well, because to be honest, I'm not very good at this stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what if things don't work out on the day? So she's been instrumental helping me to get the ladies ready for today. So I have sent you the invite, Naomi, and it does say it's connecting, but maybe something is stuck. I'll try another route. I'll try to select you from this screen. So that means I've got to search for you right now. So Naomi, invite. So I'm going to invite you now. So hopefully, if this works, Naomi, you should get an invitation, and then you just accept and come on the video with me. So that's done. Okay, so Konnie, you only need to have some things. Konnie, you only need to have some things in place prior to getting PR done. That's what Suzie is saying. Yeah, and you can fly done badly, and you can fail fast. Sometimes less is definitely more, but everything in context. And I think that's all right when it comes to PR. You want to be ready. So Naomi, I did send you the invitation. I'll try to bring you on camera one more time. So she says it's adding you right now.
Here we are. Fabulous. Fabulous.
Wonderful. Well, I'm just waking up, so hello to friends around the world.
Good morning. So tell the audience where you're from, if you're waking up right now.
Yes, well, I live in the United States, and I'm from Western New York, but I've been on the West Coast, which is Southern California, about 1 hour north of Los Angeles, away from all the people. We live in a valley.
Oh, fantastic. This sounds amazing. I love USA. I've traveled several times, and I've lived in the United States for a year or two as well. When I was much, much younger, so I should come and visit at some point again, definitely. Oh, Naomi, are you frozen? You're with me? Lots of hearts. Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. Naomi, I think you're frozen. That means we had to have an error right now on the screen. Maybe it's a little bit of an internet happen. Okay, I'm going to add you again, Naomi. Perhaps it was a. Now I can't add you. Let's see whether Naomi, you might need to come back into the live stream, and then I'll add you one more time. Okay. So let's see what's going on in the chat box. You did it, Suzie. Thank you. Find your insights very valuable. Fabulous. Angel, you did it. That's regards to Naomi coming on. Let's see if we can have another go and get lucky the second time. Naomi, I'm adding you. It says it's connecting. Okay, so let's see. Yep, maybe you can see black screen. Connecting, maybe not, maybe yes. We should have some music next time. How about that? They entertain you a little bit, or some jokes. Ask questions. If you've got any questions, anything to do with what we talked about this afternoon, please just type them up here. I love this show. Fabulous. Who said that? Naomi. Oh, fabulous. Naomi. I'd love to have you on my show right now. I'll send you another invitation. Fingers crossed. It's working. Hopefully, let's see. The invitation has gone through again. Worst case scenario, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go into our Facebook group, the Reach for Greatness with Sabine Matharu, and we're going to just do an interview with Naomi. And Gal also had issues, so we'll just postpone, you know, and then we'll just we'll just release the interview in the group. So no worries, it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. So Naomi, I can't invite you again for some reason. Maybe everything's frozen. Maybe I'm frozen as well. No, I'm not, sort of half back. So let me see what's going on. Maybe Naomi, if you do hear me, if you are here, perhaps try to exit the live stream and then come back on again and then comment again, and then hopefully it will recognize us, because it seems something is stuck at the moment. So Ian, oh fabulous. I always love to see Ian's feedback. This is a great show. Oh, that's gone quickly. Congratulations. I have to watch again because my head is just bouncing all over the place at the moment. So many ideas and information to absorb. Yeah, that fabulous. Thank you so much for the feedback, Ian. I think there's quite a few things, and it's so important that we don't just watch videos, and that goes, you know, with anything really. Don't just do courses for the sake of doing courses. It's about implementing in bite-sized chunks, because if you don't implement, then, you know, it's not worth actually spending all this time and energy learning new things. It's only when you implement, obviously implement the things in your business that feel right at this moment in time. And I know we could be implementing, you know, so many things all of the time, but it may not be right and it may not be your priority. So always look at it like, what is going to make the biggest impact in my business right now? Like, for example, I had the feeling, I've had this feeling for a long time that I wanted to create this platform and to add the Facebook Live TV show was something I already had in my mind for a while, but I was just too busy building my website, too busy posting on social media, and I was really hiding. I was hiding behind my laptop, and yeah, because I was scared, because I was like scared of what are people gonna say, how are they gonna react, will people actually want to see me, you know, will they be listening to what I've got to say, have I got something to say? And really the learning is you just need to go and do it as and when it feels right for you. And perhaps it didn't feel right for me about a year ago because I was still developing and up leveling and tweaking and adding things to the business. So let's just see if Naomi is back. I'll try one more time, Naomi, because I'd really, really love to have you on today. Naomi. I can't invite you here anymore because I've already sent one invitation, which is the thing with Facebook, isn't it? Naomi, if you are here and if you are watching, if you hear me, please just say hello so that I can tap onto your comment and then invite you there. And Deborah says, Sashka, when going through rebranding, a lot of people retreat to their visibility. What is your opinion on how people get visible whilst rebranding? So, yes, so Sashka, hopefully you'll pick up on this question. My take is, I guess I haven't really had like a crazy rebrand where I completely changed my color scheme or I completely changed my message. But I was at the stage where I wasn't quite clear on my message and I wasn't quite clear on all of my colors or how I would be using the colors or how I would be constructing a banner on Facebook, for example. And I guess it just goes back, Deborah, on the 80-20 rule, where you say, well, don't be a perfectionist. Just continue, because when you continue with your visibility, with tweaking your message, that's all up leveling at the same time. You're on this journey, as I was saying, the reach for greatness and the mountain. It's about a journey climbing that mountain. And it's not that you're going to go down to the bottom of the mountain again and start climbing all over up again, right? Because you've already achieved something, you've already got a base, a foundation where you work from. And quite often, if you haven't actually worked up to that base, that foundation is actually probably going to determine who you want to be when you're up leveling as well. There's quite, you're probably not going to start from scratch and say, well, I have to reinvent myself 100% completely, and what I've done so far has been complete rubbish. So you're back, Naomi. All right, I'm adding you right now. Hopefully this helps, Deborah. You have an asset, and continue being visible. And because when you procrastinate, when you want to be perfect, then you procrastinate, you'd rather not do it, you're going to hide. And I think that ties in so nicely with what we're going to speak about today. Naomi is going to talk about her journey, and we are talking about climbing mountains, going through a journey of self-development and being resilient, right? Because we had a question just now saying, well, if I'm rebranding, do I start from scratch again, or do I sort of stop from being visible? And I said, well, once you climb the mountain halfway up, you're looking down, you say, well, look, the view, and you're going to pull yourself up more because you've already created this foundation, and you're going to just inject that energy and new ideas to climb up even more, right? You're not going to start from scratch again and stop that momentum. So can you hear me, Naomi? Yes?
Yes, finally, yes. All the way from California.
I had to entertain my guests for a little bit whilst, you were back in California, but now you're back with me. So I already said adventure mountain climber, inspirational speaker. You are very passionate about inspiring professionals to achieve the profound dreams of their youth, and maybe you can just share some of your stories and what you're doing now, and how you came about doing what you do now, because I know you have a really fantastic story, and it's just amazing to listen to your stories and what you do now and what your vision is as well.
Well, thank you, Sabine. Whether I'm in California or I'm in Ecuador, I'm in England, or I'm in Mount Kilimanjaro, I always have learned to have a passion for life. And the reason is because I was born as a congenital heart patient, which means the structure of my heart, instead of being perfect like this, was like that. So having to fix the structure puts you into a place where you have a banner. And most of us have an invisible banner, and it could be any kind of defect. It could be someone made fun of you because your nose had a red dot on it that day. Maybe you combed your hair on the wrong side and everything was whatever. So my defect was a serious one, and it was a life and death defect. So I determined as a child that I would not let anything take my breath away. So the question about rebranding, I wanted to address that because for 25 years, I owned my own tour wholesale business, and we operated to the Middle East. So I was working mostly with Israelis and Arabs in Israel. And so I was a woman, quite young, 25, and that was for 20 years. And my husband passed away. And just before he passed away, there was a tremendous upsurge in terrorism around the world. And our business had to return over $500,000 US in 7 days. It was devastating. And it turned our business upside down. So talk about rebranding. We really had to struggle. So he went out and got a real estate license, and we had to, 3 children, all those kind of things. I kept the business going until today. I have the licenses for the business. But after he passed away, I had to rethink, who am I? And I literally did not speak on stages again for 10 years. I didn't realize I wasn't. I met a new guy, we got married, we have 7 children together, they were all adults. I didn't know about the concept of rebranding. But when I started thinking about it, I said, well, what could I do differently? So I thought to go back to the old patterns, but they didn't add up. I have this huge foundation. It wasn't mountain climbing. The first mountain I climbed when I was 10 was only in competition with my brother. I wanted to do what he did. The second mountain I climbed was when I was 30, and I was in Mount Sinai, and I wanted to go where Moses is supposed to give the 10 Commandments. That's it. Until I was 60, I was not an adventure mountain climber. So the rebranding part started when I got training. So there's resources, who you are, who you know. Perfect, the public relations, I think her name is Suzie. Wow, it is all about relationship. So when you're going to do PR, it didn't start on the day you want the magazine article or the day you wanted to get on the podcast. It started months ago with who did you meet? Perfect example of that is I've been working with an international women's group called Seroptimus for 9 years. And they, 75,000 of them around the world, 120 countries. I was asked to be the installation officer last night, 200 women. I'm now booked for 2 more installations for the future. It's a 9-year relationship. You just don't know. You show up as yourself. You be on purpose, but you have to have those resources in your mindset. So if you could just put your hands like this, go ahead, do it. Fold them a little bit like that. Are you ready? Now raise it straight up. Now look up and see your imaginary helmet. Pull it down. Gently set it on your head. Now strap it. Click. You have a new mindset. It could be creativity. It could be speaking out loud. It could be more enthusiasm. You can create your own life, and that's one of the resources you have. Now you have the idea that you must line things up. But if you don't have the training, you can't do it. So a good example about that is when my husband, the reason I climb mountains, when my husband was coming back from these adventures, like a king, I said, who are you spending that time with? What are you doing out there in the middle of nowhere for 3 days and 5 days and 7 days? He was just becoming himself. He was finding himself. So when he trained me, it was 8 mountains in 8 months. Not one mountain was easy. And you say, I'm not a mountain climber. I'm not going to listen to her. Guess what? We're all virtual mountain climbers, because I was up with my business and then I was down with my business. I was up with my family and then my husband died. I was up with this and then that. It seems like whenever you're at the summit, somehow things could go negative the very next day. And yet, we have our helmet on. We could even put a new one on. We could take that one off. So 8 mountains, 8 lessons. Do you think when my husband went ahead of me about 15 minutes and my heel hurt, I didn't know what that meant. 4 miles later, the entire back of my heel was worn off. 3 layers of skin. It was the wrong shoes. It was the wrong socks. It was the wrong size. Is it the wrong person on your team? Is it the wrong media? Is it the wrong amount of money that you invested? Is it the wrong trainer? These are all obstacles that we encounter every day as we walk mountains and go into valleys. So how deep a valley do you want to go in before you get the resources lined up and the training that you need to go on purpose forward? So I am on purpose. I went to this group and I'm a member. I'm a very giving volunteer. I want to be on the stages of the world. So in order to do that, I have to show up. So here's how it started. I said I will only speak. I don't want to be a committee that doesn't have a speaking opportunity. So I set that up, right? Then when I went to speak, I spoke in excellence. So I took the training and put it together. So hold your left hand out, resources. Hold your right hand out, training. Now look what happens when they go together. Are you ready? Focus. If you literally do that right now with me, left hand resources, right hand training, when they touch, did you get the electrical?
Wow, yeah.
Do you feel it? It's the focus. You get immediate principle. Oh, I can feel it. That focus.
And that's what I just said. Don't just watch the videos. Don't just come on here, but also implement. Right? There's a watching video. That's the implementation, right?
So I teach experientially. So you felt the helmet. Now feel it again. Resources left hand, training right hand, focus. If you had the training and the focus, but without the resources, it wouldn't be the same. It's when they come together, look what happens. You become courageous. Go ahead and do that with your hand. And your other hand, left hand, you become compassionate for others, and you've just created the shape of a heart. And when that courage and compassion comes together, you're heart-centered, and you shift towards where you were always meant to go. It's a literal, physical, psychological, emotional, spiritual adventure, like climbing a mountain. So I really say the basic foundations of every business is not doing it only because you have a big why. It's doing it because you can't do anything else. So you must. There's tools. There's ways to do that. And I have to say, with the training that I've had, which I'm so grateful for, and I'm going to be 64 in a couple of weeks. And when I turn 64, I'm going to be even more on purpose because I've gathered all those things together. So I wanted to go back to the rebranding. What do you think it was like to start dating after 25 years to look for someone to partner with? That alone was a whole story. What do you think it was like when I got to the top of Pikes Peak and my husband said, I don't think you should go to Kilimanjaro. You're a heart patient.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? No mountain is going to stop me from breathing. I'll do it.
Yeah.
That's how I look at life.
Wow.
That's how I look at life. So I was born brave. So were you. I was born real brave. And I acknowledge all my successes. And I validate myself and other people in relationship. And because of that, I can encourage each and every day. So I choose to start my day empowered. I choose to start my day on purpose. I choose to start my day actually with health as my wealth. And if I have health, I can do anything.
Yes, that's so amazing. That's exactly what I was saying this morning. It's about building into your days, you know, exactly your priorities, and sometimes they fall off. Your health, your food, your relationships just fall off the radar. And you're so right by saying, if you got those foundations in place, then everything else actually flows. That's essentially what I got now from your very touching motivational speech.
You know, I don't think there's any mountain we can't climb, but it has a huge amount to do with that helmet. And I didn't wear helmets on the first 8 mountains. Mount Kilimanjaro did not require ice climbing or ice axes or any kind of glaciers. And I mean, there was ice and snow, but it was slippery, but it did require technical climbing. It's when we went to Ecuador and we had to go to mountaineering school, and you had to get like a little baby on the side of the mountain, and you basically push yourself off, and you have to catch yourself before you get down to the edge. Oh, that's when I started to learn about the helmet. That's what I understood, that the mindset is so powerful. And it's not I never experienced it. I raised 3 daughters. It's about where you are in life. And if you could put the one you need on your head, strap in and go for it, what would it feel like? What would it be like? Can you be on purpose? Can you focus so much? Now, what does focus look like? Really, it's about prioritization. Focus is when you decide that you want something more than anything else. So I made an example for you. I recently created a free product. It's called Naomi's Superhero Health Quiz. And the reason I created that is because I realized that so many of us might have move a
little bit in the house because my children are on the door. We're running a bit late, so sorry. 1 second. Yeah, I'm going to just go up and you continue.
Okay,
continue.
So Superhero Health Quiz, I created it because I realized that most of the midlife professional women that I speak to do not take self-care as a priority. And therefore, they get drained, they get exhausted, they look exhausted, they don't even look their age anymore because they've given it all forward. And so the Superhero Health Quiz is an opportunity for business people to evaluate themselves and see where you are. And so I have this list, and I sent it off to the girl who does some of my website work, and she says, I'm halfway there. And she has 4 young children, and I'm laughing because I'm like 40 years older than she is. And I just think that if we could find out how to do that, have that health foundation, that all the rest builds up. So no matter how big a mountain we climb, we're so on purpose, we summit, we celebrate, turn around and go back down, but the down is not a negative. It's just to get to the next up. So that's quite exciting, that if you have something you want to do, repurpose it. Find a way to use it in another way. Don't just do what she was talking about here. Take this opportunity to take this information and reuse it and talk about it and share it and learn from it and say, oh, well, Naomi said this and Sabine said this and Suzie said this and Konnie said this. Now I can, I know exactly what to do with that. And I believe that all of the links we have now, the fact that I didn't have to spend $2,000 US to come to speak to you, that we can all share and collaborate. There's a huge working together that's happening around the world. I want to be a part of that, even if electrical charges are a little bit limited sometimes.
And if kids are banging on the door, and I think my husband forgot his keys, so I was trying to find the keys, and I'm thinking, why has he not got the keys with him? That's just really strange, and I couldn't find my keys either. So, but they managed now, and they come through the door. It's just we're running a little bit late, and my kids just come at 3:30. School finishes at 3:15. So that's the joy of motherhood, isn't it? That's like just
It
life.
is.
And
It
you have to
is.
be
It's a
flexible
story of
and
interruptions, and then can you get back to your priority? Can you get back to the place what you're going to do? So let's talk about that one more second, and then we can wrap it up. If you set a priority, let's say.
We're going to share your link as well then.
Okay. If you set a priority, well, let's go there. A priority to do something, then it really does take focus. So an example would be that you need to write an article or write a speech or prepare your story. Maybe your story is not ready. You don't have the right timing or the right audience, but you still have to write it, because putting the expression down on paper allows you to let it go. And when you let any of the darkness and the pain go behind you and you start turning towards the light, boing. So let's say that's your plan. You're going to write your free offer. You're going to write your speech, whichever piece you need. Make an appointment with yourself. Put it on your calendar. Turn off the phone. Turn off the TV. Don't go to the loo. Get your glass of tea or we drink water, a cup of tea, and really sit down for 45 minutes. Focus on that project. Put the dinger on. Let it go off. Get up. Go out, do something different, and reschedule for the next time. So allow yourself that focus. And when you do, bing, success. And that's reaching the summit of the mountain. I have climbed some mountains 4 times, and I've only reached the summit twice. All kind of reasons. It's not obstacles like children, because children are a blessing. They're an inspiration. They're my teacher, my grandchildren. I heard my granddaughter say, my grandmother climbs mountains. What does yours do?
My
thought, right?
Mommy's famous. I say, Mommy's famous. She's on YouTube.
Exactly, right? So please, if you would like to learn more or get go, I have a Facebook page called Positive Living Inspiration. And I would love for you to go there, because there's all kinds of quotes about women and health and living. And we have kind of a lot of followers. So go to Positive Living Inspiration. And when you're inspired, private message me, and I'll send you that Naomi Superhero Health Quiz so that you can see where you stand in your business and the foundation of your health. And as a heart patient, I have been declared the healthiest adult congenital heart patient in North America. Now, I don't know about in England or Europe, but in North America, I'm #1. So wouldn't you like to be #1 in any category, but especially that foundation? Because if you're living full out, you need your health. So I call my website The Brave Heart Shift, thebraveheartshift.com. But